Well, hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Pot Squatch Growers. I'm assuming this is streaming right now. My phone, which I was going to be attempting to use here, is not interfacing with the live stream. But we will go back through here. There we go. And if I click it this way, it should all work. What's up, Jay Bailey, baby? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Happy Two Bros? What's up, Chip Chip Talks? What's crack-a-lackin', everybody? That's right. I found one of my old cell phones. We're going to try to use that one because this phone has some cracks in the lens. Hello, Health Club 420. I should probably turn this crap off. There we go. Now we don't need to hear my dumbass twice. There we are. Let's see. How's this level if I sit here? Oh, that's not bad. All right, there we go. I am doing well, Steve G. How you doing? What's up, Sticky Fingers? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Mike Harabi? What's up, Rafael Gonzalez? How you doing, my friend? What's up, Patterson Motorsports, baby? What's crack-a-lackin'? I gotta make sure all chat, live chat. There we go. I had it set on top chat. I don't even really know what that actually, in fact, means. But welcome to Pot Squatch Growers Saturday Night Live tonight, my friends. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of exciting things, some upcoming things that we're going to be doing. What's up, Jay Sanfield? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I hope things are doing well in your world. It's good to see you. But today, we're going to be going over some of the new upgrades, that we're going to be doing in the space here today. One thing that I'm really stoked about, you know what? We'll say hi to everyone first. What's up, Backdoor Man? All right. What's up, Me Native? One second here, everybody. I got a text that's coming through. Silly, my friends. Oh, my goodness. 1 second, everybody. 1 second here. Go. I had to text my friend just saying we were doing a live stream show. There we go, and we're back now. Okay, let's get back to saying hello to everybody. Whoop. That's not working here. I'm still playing around with this new format because at the end of the day, the computer kind of was frustrating me a little bit. This is a little bit easier, so I can kind of be a little bit freer, come look down this way, and as long as I don't drain the battery on this fucker too fast, then we should be all right. All right, I believe I'm caught up. What's up, Lobster Boy? Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend. Oh, yeah. How's it going down east, everybody? Oh, what's up, Callie? Hanging out in Texas. We got a lot of pot squatches down in Texas. You know, we should celebrate like a New Year's thing for all the Texans and all the different areas in the states and all the pot squatch and get together and everyone can get drunk and then take some pictures and send to Uncle Pot Squatch. What's up, same shit, different day, my friend? What's up, Mike Kraft? How you doing, my friend? Rock and roll. What's up, Toronto, Ontario? Oh, well, thank you, my vigil. The beard's starting to veg in fairly well. January 6th will be this beard's 1-year birthday. That's correct. January 6th, this beautiful beard will be 1 year old. And then we'll see what she does in the coming year. But I'm really stoked. Like I was saying, everybody, we're going to be doing a lot of really fucking cool shit coming up in the new year here. One, we're going to be doing some serious upgrades in terms of the actual lab. We've done 4 runs? Let me think here. Wait a minute. 3 or 4 runs. My brain's being a little weird here. Since we've actually moved into the new laboratory. We've been here at the new house for about 1.5 years. And going into the new year, 1, we're hoping that YouTube doesn't come and crucify us. But 2, we're going to be stepping up our game. We're going to be expanding the flowering space utilized in the room here. There's a lot of space in this main space that we're not properly utilizing. So we're still going to do the main strip here of where we're sitting here now. One of the things that we really want to do, though, as well, is what we're going to do is, see how we've got the table here? Well, one, we're going to be making an attempt to basically, what's up, Kyle Ferguson? we're going to be attempting to do more of a perpetual style grow setup. What does that mean? Well, it means fuck these 3 or 4 weeks in between grows and runs. I just, I kind of get a little down in between runs. At first, I thought it was just because I was green, but it's not because I was green. It's called, I got to keep shit going. So we're going to keep it going here. So we're going to have like all of this. We're going to have another table here, having a raised table. We'll show you the height there. So we're going to have a raised table all throughout here. And then have our plants raised up, which is going to be easier on my back too. So it's going to be easier for me to work on my back and kind of go from there. But also too, then that way, we're not going to be vegging plants out tall like we have been. We're going to be training them out and maximizing space and then raising them up. So I'm looking forward to that. These are our new little girls. They're really starting to set in. As you can tell, this is about a day before the 1 week update on transplant and moving them into the lab there. So we're going to be doing that for you tomorrow. But this is the space down here we're actually going to be converting into a whole nother flowering area. So I'm actually going to be hanging for now until I can afford to even, buy some more squatch lights for myself. We use some of our old lights to set it up for now. And then when we can afford, so we will be putting up some more. Nice job, Squatch. I don't know if anyone caught it, but Canada seriously shit the bed in our hockey game. To be fair, the first 2 goals were offside. They should have been called. We didn't challenge them. That was a coaching mistake on our end. But it's one all for basically Group B and the juniors there. So there's still hope for Canada. But let's move on from that. Well, exactly, Michael Montgomery. We're going to make use of the old lights for now that I have, and then outfit those in there until I can afford to put in some more double squatches. Hell yeah, Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster, can you send me a link to the video there for your update videos there? I'd love to check it out. Love to see it there. Well, this angle doesn't quite work, so here we're gonna switch it around here. I'm trying to find a way where we can shoot the show, have a little bit more stable for everybody to watch, but at the same time I got a little bit more organic freedom where I can kind of float around and it's a little bit easier. So Cookie Monster, if you've got some videos up, if they're up on YouTube, all you got to do is share that link, copy link, and put it in an email to me at potsquatch420@gmail.com, and I'll be able to have access to that. What's up, Cajun Weedhead? How's it going? Well, exactly, Smoky Bond Water. One of the hardest things, too, both for either newer growers or growers that are looking to expand and sort of step up their game, is equipment is always kind of that cost thing. A lot of new growers will cheap out or try to go buy one of those all-inclusive kits. I often will tell newer growers not to do that because, one, you're going to go spend $600 to $900 on a lot of stuff that you could have acquired cheaper on its own, not in the deal. And then if you look at the most important part, for example, of the deal you might get a decent tank, you might get some decent this, that, right? But the light you're going to be given is a piece of shit. And at the end of the day, I'm a big advocate of you get what you pay for with tech. It used to be that you had to spend way too much in order to get tech going. Luckily for all of us, the Squatch lighting systems now exist. So professional grade LED lighting tech is now accessible, where it was not before. We did have a Merry Xmas, my friend Squeaka085. Thank you very much. One second here. I'm going to see if I have the link to stuff where I can post it. Nope, because I didn't think ahead. Well, c'est la vie. I'm going to have to rely on our moderators today in order to share the links to stuff. So anyway, moderators, if someone doesn't mind sharing the link to those lights, I would very much appreciate that. Wait, there we go. There we go. See, I'm learning how to do this with cell phones instead of using computers. There we are. I can't see the chat now. There we go. Click live chat. There we go. Well, exactly, Michael Montgomery. And at the end of the day, so to new growers, don't go buy those pre-assembled kits. A pre-assembled kit's a great place to start in terms of beginning to think about what kind of initial equipments you'll need. Certain things you don't need, for example. There's a lot of bells and whistles that comes in these kits that, where it's good to have them if you can. It's not really required, though. I would advise buying a nicer light rather than going and spending money on your secondary support system. Secondary support systems, I would tend to say, upgrade those later. Start with a good fucking light. If you start with a good light, you're going to have a lot more successful results, and you're going to be able to enjoy yourself a hell of a lot more than starting with a shit light and all the other bells and whistles, which are more secondary things in my humble 2 cents. CFX Atrax. Is it better to flower indoors during the day, lights on, or plants sleep during warm days and lights on during night, only getting max temps of 19 Celsius on a cold day? Well, typically what I would do then is I would run my lights on at night because you're going to have less ambient energy outside of your grow space or the home where you are or the building where you are. So by running lights off during the day, you are going to have a few extra degrees in terms of your room of keeping your temps up a little bit, especially for Canadian growers or anyone who's living in a place that gets quite cold. Remembering that and playing with that to minimize power consumption is always really important. So at the end of the day, run lights on during the night, lights off during the day, just to kind of maximize what you can do. How can you bring moisture back to your buds? Sadly, Big Dog 710, I mean, that's a tricky thing. You'll never get them back to what they once were. A lot of the old tricks that we used to do, a lot of guys used to put a piece of bread. I used to use a piece of flat bread. Some guys used to put apple slices in there. I do find that apple slices add kind of a flavor to it, so I wouldn't advocate doing that. You could go the way or the route of using a Bovita pack. I don't like those. I find they make my weed taste weird. So at the end of the day, we don't do that. So Christian Brer, one, if you've had a bad powdery mildew explosion, it is tricky to get it. What you're going to have to do is you're basically going to have to go through your grow space and do a very deep clean. For example, Jake's All-in-One, one of the great things that it can in fact be used for is a room pre-treatment spray. Let me grab a bottle here and I'll show it to all of you. I don't think I've got any bottles in here. So here is the 4-liter bottles of Jake's. It does come up to a 10-liter. We personally only carry up to the 4-liter at our store unless you require more. And if you require a larger size, let us know and we will bring in some 10 liters for you. It is not the world's cheapest product, but it's an extremely wonderful product. And so using a 30 millimeter to a liter of water kind of ratio on that Jake's can be used as room pre-spray. So you're going to be able to, you're going to spray it down first, go through, clean your room. Then you're going to spray everything down, douse it. Make sure you watch your RH though. So keep a dehumidifier going, but just literally douse your room in Jake's. Then come through, do a big thing, maybe even do that a couple of times to make sure you get all of that. But it does instantly kill spores upon contact. So that's what I would do if I had a really bad Jake's infestation. Now remember, those spores might be locked in your fans, they might be locked in intake, exhaust, anything you've got going. So you're gonna have to go through and do a very, very good clean. Very important. Another thing you could also do for dry bud, by the way, is if you've got some fresher bud, just take a wet bud and put it in with your dry bud. But that's only if you've got other plants going. Michael Montgomery, I do not advise the use of Bovita packs. You can order them on Amazon, order them online. They're very big in terms of cigars as well. Like a lot of cigar guys will use them. I have noticed that in terms of keeping cigars sexy, they're not an issue. But they do change the taste of your weed, especially when utilized in the curing time. So I am not an advocate of those. I'm more of an advocate of get your shit dry at the right point and put your shit in the jar when you're supposed to. That does come and a little bit with practice, but everything does. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know. Sticky fingers, knock on wood, we had almost no bugs in almost 18 years of growing. But then when we moved out here into the woods, there's a lot more bugs, and it's crazy. So that has been definitely one of the big things we've had to kind of adapt to, and a learning curve for us has been, is learning to deal more so with bugs. That's why we were very thankful once we discovered Jake's. Oh, no worries, CFX Atrax. Happy to help, and that's part of why we do this YouTube channel, is to help newer growers kind of be successful and have a lot of fun with what they're doing. So, what's up, Nicole Lindman? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, we've been dancing with a lot of different things. Probably one of the number one bugs. There is a weird strain of either a fungus gnat or it's a dually black type of aphid that looks like very similar to a fungus gnat. Because we have seen ones that are winged and unwinged, and there also could just also be fungus gnat. They're very similar, different actual species of family, but very similar. That's probably been one of the most annoying things living out here that I've noticed. We haven't had a real freeze yet. Doesn't get cold here like it used to anymore. So at the end of the day, fuck, those fuckers are annoying. That's one of the things that was fucking a little bit with our little babies as well. One thing here I'll show you, everyone, is what some mild root damage will look like. I don't know if the camera is registering that. You see how there's a subtle discoloration on a couple of these fan leaves? That is actually not a nutrient deficiency. That is being caused by little fungus gnat larvae munching basically on your little baby roots. So one thing that looks very similar to, it's slightly different, but to a beginner eye or a newer eye to these things, it also looks similar to a tobacco mosaic virus, but I haven't smoked around these. So, and at the end of the day, I have been battling some of these weird fungus gnats. So that's kind of where that one went for us on that one. No, Michael Montgomery never used plastic for storing anything. Plastic is not inert. Why we use glass? For pretty much everything. I even use glass for storing my rosin or doing my cook down on my rosins. The reason is glass is inert. It doesn't react to things. So that's why we like to use, or we all should attempt to use, glass whenever possible. Because at the end of the day, it is inert and will not react to a lot of stuff. So. Nicole Lenman, what I've been doing to fight my gnats is being religious with my jakes. So you're going to come through every single day. You're going to jakes the tops of your soil. Don't use a full strength. That'll be a little heavy to do. But I've been using I was using a very mild dosage, and I stepped it up to about a 30 milliliter dosage, which is about what I would use for a pre-room spray as well. And just basically coming through every single day and staying on top of that. It's going to take 6 to 10 days for you to overcome that. The hatching window on most fungus gnat species is 4 to 6 days, as well as, so it's not just a 6-day window, you got to keep it going, because there's still going to be a few that survive, right? Unless you get every single little fucker, little gnat, they will come back eventually. It'll start slowly, and then before you know it, you're fucked again. So at the end of the day, staying religious with your jakes and on top of your plants will fix that. And doing it religiously, once you get it under control, jakesing your plants once a week during veg and early to mid flower is not a bad thing. Jakes can be used in flower. I've used it as late as week 7 or mid week 7 flower without any negative results. The only thing occasionally, if you're using a high strength dosage jakes when attacking your plants or whatever you might be, like for example you got some thrips during flowers, some spider mites or something like that, you will maybe occasionally see a little bit of pistil damage to your new pistils. That's okay. It will regenerate. But it is damaging some of those pistils, so just be careful. Some people will use it and they'll see that pistil damage is shrinking and they'll go, oh, well, these pistils are finishing. No. That is a side effect of using the jakes. So be careful, especially when using a slightly higher dose on that, all right? Big Dog, no, I haven't because I don't need to. Jakes is all natural as well, soon to be certified organic, and it works. So I have no need to try another product. I use Jakes. We actually, our company will be representing Jakes in all future products solely down to the U.S. So if any grow stores are watching down in the Americas and you want to start carrying Jakes down to the States, well, I'm your guy to talk to. I will be the single door of all Jakes products to America there for everybody. So going into the new year, we will be taking over those responsibilities and working with Jakes All-in-One there to help bring Jakes down to all of our American cousins there down in the States for their growing needs. Nicole Enman, diatomaceous earth is great, but it is only one sort of point. It is only really attacking the larvae, where using Jakes will kill the larvae, it will kill the adults, it will kill the transitional larvae, the fungus gnat, which, if you ever catch them, they're hard to see this way, because normally they stay in the soil when they're like this, but it's like a little grub almost, but then it grows its wings first, and then the body will develop and then sort of shed the husk there and become that adult fungus gnat that we all know what it looks like. So yeah, but Nicole, Jake's is on sale, 15% off. Everything on our store right now at podsquatchgrowers.com. So that's all your hats, t-shirts, rolling papers, grinders, Jake's All-in-One. It's 15% off, baby, till New Year's Eve. So make sure you act now. One thing I will reiterate, this has been a new problem last month, but a lot of people aren't putting down their proper shipping addresses. I don't know where you live, so if you fuck up your shipping address, I don't know that. So at the end of the day, please be very careful when plugging in your shipping addresses, as well as put your actual legal name on it. We've had a couple of orders where people didn't put their actual legal names, and it showed up, they missed the post person, and they can't go pick it up at the post now, and it's been sent back, and we're having to pay for shipping twice here, people. I'm just trying to save you all money, because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I make a mistake, I'll pay for it. But if someone improperly puts their contact info in there, or shipping address, I should say, that's going to be something you're going to have to cover in terms of the cost of it. So at the end of the day, just please be very careful. Also, too, just reiterating again, when picking your shipping options, take a look. For an extra $3 or $4, you can get it in 6 or 7 days to Europe, for example. But if you go with that $3 or $6 cheaper option on the shipping, it takes 38 to 81 days to show up. So please don't pick that. That was something we learned early on as well for our store. Yes, VicDog710, Jake's does everything. Jake's is an immune system booster. It naturally boosts your plant's natural immune systems, both to pests, to funguses, to everything. It's also a foliar feed. It can be used as a bud booster in transition to flower. It kills all bugs. It instantly kills powdery mildew on contact. As well as it's just fucking handier than fuck. And depending on what concentration you use on your intermix, it's pretty much good to go. I would probably say Jake's All-in-One is probably one of the best products I've met in years that actually lives up to what it's supposed to do, which is rare in our industry. A lot of people make false claims, especially in terms of lights, for example. That's why I think our lighting brand has been so well received by people, because 1, it is the most affordable professional grade tech. 2, it's reliable. 3, it blows the competition out of the water. And 4, we don't lie to you about what it does. We're very upfront about all of that, and we've always been straight shooters in terms of those things. So, cayenne pepper can work. I'm not a big fan of using it, just because I have had times where using cayenne a little too heavily, it could be, psychosomatic in my head, but I felt like it added this weird undertone to the tastes of my weed. But that could also be in my head. We will, have to debate that one, I guess. Well, Vic Dog, I don't know what proportion it costs, but at the end of the day, Jake's All-in-One is the best product out there out of anything I've tested, and that's what we go with. Well, we kind of represent the product now to the States, so it's kind of important that we do. So. One second here, Hard Rock Pop. I grew 2 pepper plants side by side. One was root bound on purpose, one was not. The root bound one made more peppers. No, it is. More roots equal more weed titties, okay? So think of your root systems as the foundational element, which is feeding and your plant. So when it comes to vegging, it's going to veg harder, stronger, faster, better. When it comes to flowering, it's going to flower harder, faster, stronger, better. More roots equals more weed. Obviously, too root bound is a negative thing as well, but a very healthy root system is very important. On this grow, we're going to be playing around with a few new products that come from Green Planet. One, their Root Builder. Use that every 2 weeks, as well as using their their secondary VitaThrive or their vitamin serum. We actually are using that vitamin serum on every single watering on this run to play around with that and see how we find it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using humic acid again this run or not. Probably. I just need to go buy more. So we'll see. Yeah, Big Mac creates. It really does. And the funny thing is I am very skeptical of all products. We all know that I have a passion of calling companies on their bullshit. I've been very happy with Jake's. Jake's in and of itself is a brilliant product. So. Oh no, VicDog710, I did not mean it like that. That came out in the wrong way, and I apologize. I love you, buddy, and you're doing totally the right thing. Any product that works should be shared, and I'm a big believer in that, and I think it's very important for all of us to share these tidbits and knowledges of products as we learn them. So VicDog, I'm sorry, I didn't mean snap like that. It wasn't like that. It wasn't intended like that. I love you, baby. That's right, Happy Dude Grows. Big roots, big fruits. I like that. Good times. I am not stoned yet, but I will be. No, handsome Cajun, but I have used other things that are derived from volcanoes. Isn't that what perlite is? Perlite is basically volcanic rock that has been heated, so it pops like a popcorn kernel. That's the only thing I've really ever done. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I would see that volcanic stuff would be very positive, or it could be at least. But I've never actually fucked around with it. But you know, still pretty cool though. Oh, what's up, Marcus Ireland? I'm doing well, buddy. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. Yeah, Afro Man is something I'd like to do at karaoke's. Because I got high, crazy rap, and Dennis Leary's I'm an asshole are kind of three of my favorite go-tos. When I also like to go to karaoke, I do a lot of Joe Cocker and Jethro Tull as well. And, you know, I did some Joe Cocker later that night at the Sistos there. It was a good time. Oh, hell yeah. Well, Mike, happy early birthday. I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow and enjoy your fishing, my friend Mike. And Mike, thank you for also being so active on the Facebook community. For those of you who are not part of it, but are on Facebook, feel free to join. Everyone's welcome. And at the end of the day, it's a good place to be. And Mike, you know, I love some of your videos, like just talking about, oh, this is what people down Texas do. You just get stoned and you go fishing and doing shit. I'm like, so Texans ain't that different than Canadians really, man. But no, so anyway, Mike, thank you very much for being so active in the community there. I get a very big amount of joy from watching you do silly things in Texas. It makes me happy inside. One second here, I'm reading here. I'm catching up. Can you stress out plants when you transplant them? I'm getting yellow leaves at the bottom. Yes. And Big Mac creates also too. You could have damaged a few of the roots that are supporting those lower levels. But if it's the lower levels that are yellowing on you and you've already transplanted, I wouldn't worry. Hit it with a root builder, or if you got some hormone powder, dissolve that in the water. A little tricky to do, but you can get it to dissolve eventually if you fucking whip it enough. Give it a little bit of that. A little bit of molasses for quick, easy access of energy and it to recover, and it should be all right. What's up, Mountain Man 420? How you doing, my friend? Oh, you know, hard rock pop. I mean, I grew up rapping. I was a rapper when I was a kid. I did MC professionally throughout Europe for a lot of electronic shows. To me, I didn't really understand EDM or any of that kind of stuff or jungle or house much. But to me, all I did was I'd show up and they'd pay me money to rap with it. So that's kind of how I had fun with that one. I am practicing actually again because I'm not that old and I do enjoy rapping for fun. And so Caden Crooks down at District Records, I keep bugging him. I'm like, motherfucker, let's make an album or at least do a track. You know, you can be serious and I'll be weird. You know, we'll see what happens. But so I'm on that one. We'll see what happens. But we're hopefully going to be releasing some musical content this year for you as well, just for the fuck of it. Mr. Pod Squatch's working on a couple of really good cover songs as well, so that's going to be pretty fun as well when they are ready. Razor, don't run with scissors. I like it. Happy New Year's, buddy. Oh, well, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. I don't know if I would say the show is amazing, but I'm always doing my best to make it at least entertaining and educational. You know, we are an evolving show. We are in a transitional point of stepping up our game in the new year, trying to get more regular programming going on the channel, as well as we do have a TV show in development that we're eventually going to be trying to get going, and a bunch of really exciting shit coming in the new year for you. So we're trying to stay on top of that, baby. You know what I'm saying? Can the plants recover from nutrient burn if you left it a day before you flush? I'm worried. Nah, I wouldn't worry, man. Just keep fucking flushing. Just flush, 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 and keep the faith. You should be all right, buddy. I wouldn't worry too much. Nice. Girl Scout cookies for me personally, not too much sativa in it for my tastes. But that sounds wonderful. If that's what you into, baby, you enjoy it, my friend Mountain Man. I'll smoke with some Violator Kush myself. Nice, sweet, spicy, sexy aroma, still cushy, and it definitely has some good left hook to her, you know? What's up, Texas Pete, baby? Big Mac creates, this sounds good to me. Make sure on those worm castings, though, if you're going to use a little bit of those, let them soak first and really cook down first. I would start on making your tea with those. Everything else is going to kind of go into the tea a little bit quicker. I'm too scared on YouTube, but I play live. I don't understand what that means. What's up, Josh Lowry? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Just now, I don't know how to make a vid. Oh, well, I mean, I just make a vid and upload it. I mean, we're probably the YouTube that has the least amount of production that goes into what we do. Production value to me, or production means I've filmed separate clips and stuck them together. I never really felt the need to kind of go over the top on anything we do here at Pod Squatch Growers. I think, there's a lot of YouTubes out there that are flashy and glitzy, but there's not really a lot of good actual information or community there. So production value has been sort of a second thing to me. Keeping it real, keeping it legit, keeping it honest is more important for my approach to things on YouTube. I mean, some of them are fun. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, there's some great editors on YouTube for cannabis channels. I question the content in terms of what its actual substance is, but I do enjoy the production side of it as a filmmaker. I think for us, though, it's never been the number one goal for us. Our number one goal is to build a community and share knowledge and share what we're doing so people can learn. Basically, coming up tomorrow will be 1 week since we brought the planties into the lab and reactivated sort of the Mark 1 lab going. We will begin to top our plants tomorrow. They are getting old enough for that. And we are going to then begin doing some of the upgrade stuff. We're making a plan. I think first what I'm going to do is make more of a formalized plan in terms of the upgrades and expansions we're doing in here. But I'm very excited to share that with all of you. If I had a little bit of money on hand, it would be a little bit easier. So I'm trying to be a little creative with that. But it's going to be a good time regardless. Yeah, Marcus, you'll be fine, man. It's cool. Especially if you only just like sort of tapped it once. And you got to remember, a lot of that nutrient burn that you're seeing in your fan leaves, if you're late in the flower too, some of that might not be nutrient burn. It could be natural cannibalization of the leaves, which is a natural maturation to the weed titty plant. So that could be totally what's going on. You may not even fucking do shit. Maybe you gave it the last feed, you thought you burnt it. No, it's probably just the bitches getting ready, man. So you should be cool, man. Oh, sticky fingers, nobody's too ugly. And at the end of the day, if you hate your face, well, shoot forwards. Oh, well, thank you very much, Josh Lowry. I appreciate that. Where does you hail from, Josh Lowry? Well, the funny thing is about the show, I think, here, I'm going to leave this phone here for now. I'm going to turn off the screen too, and then we'll just use this phone. I'm going to go for a cigar here. I don't mind smoking cigars inside, but I don't want to smoke them in the lab, you know what I'm saying? Because my weed titty plants don't like tobacco smoke. And you don't want to give your weed titty plants tobacco mosaic virus, because, well, that shit's a bitch. Mean Beans 420D. Oh, well, thank you here. Maybe I should put it down and model it for you. This is the Pod Squatch Growers T-shirt. The Pod Squatch Growers Army logo, the logo of the community, the logo of our movement, and then on the back, some of our initial mantras that built the world. Grab yours at podsquatchgrowers.com. It's on sale all month until New Year's Eve at 11:59 p.m. That's right. Ooh, it's very dark in here, isn't it? Well, let's see if we can turn on at least one little light or something. As you can tell, the office, I kind of tore it apart because I took the big table that we were using as a desk to start using that in the lab. I've got my a little Italian writing desk here, and I'm going to be reorienting the whole office space. I kind of ripped shit apart. It's one of the things on the to-do list to get ready for the new year. Then after I have a little puffy poo on my cigar, we'll get in there and we'll start talking a bit about what our plans are going to be in the new year coming on Pod Squatch Growers. AKA some of the upgrades, really, is what we're going to be talking about and looking into. pH problem with soil is too high, which led to the first feed not being absorbed. So I think, oh yeah. Well, what's your tap coming out at? I mean, normally, like I don't pH for shit almost ever here because our water is really good. Well, I've got things coming through my RSO system But what are things like over in Ireland there in terms of your water that comes out of the tap? What's up, John boy? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show tonight. Oh yeah, Michael Montgomery. As long as you've got a good stable genetic, I mean, they can hold up quite fine in terms of fuckery and tomfoolery. I mean, as long as you've got a strong, stable genetic, like a lot of low stress or even in high stress training techniques are not an issue. On some old school genetics, like for example, like a nice Northern Lights. And I don't mean like OG Kush. I mean like an original, like an OG, an original, and also OG and OG Kush doesn't stand for original, stands for ocean grown, but that's a side topic. Like an old school, original Northern Lights responds really well to a high stress thing. So you veg it out huge, do some training, clean her out a bit on the bottom, and then just you snap the top like 4 or 5 nodes down, and then it just triggers this huge explosion with that strain. So we do have that strain that we were trying to bring that one clone from death. The other one I got rid of. Too many fungus gnats. I don't need to battle 2 of them. It's going to make my job harder. So we're just going to work on the one and keep that healthy and bring that back to life. And then we're going to fucking play around and, come and grows and runs with some Northern Lights for you, and we can show you all about that. Ooh, 6.5 to 7. 6.2 is a happy place. But, I mean, so 6.5, not great. 7's definitely approaching. Ooh. But at the end of the day, though, too, you got to remember, though, that when you water or you're feeding, it's not just the pH of your solution that's creating the pH of your soil. If you've got a healthy soil, if you've got living microbials and all that beautiful crap in there, and you're using a decent soil, it can self-maintain to a point as well. That's why people over pH crap all the time, and it really pisses me off in terms of my humble 2 cents on growing. I think pHing and paying attention to all of that is actually a waste of time and energy. In terms of pH stuff, I start incorporating that or looking at that when you're seeing issues from a pH issue. For example, bright red stems, well, that's a pH issue. Purple stems, 9 times out of 10, genetic. It's a positive thing. It means they're properly being fed and they're happy. 1 second here. Oh yeah, Gordy's Fish. I'm an old school strain guy myself. We will be playing some newer stuff just because people have sent them to us and they want. Some of the stuff I'm looking forward to is playing with some of the Bruce banners that we got in. Some of the Flamingo. That's going to be a fun one to run. I think that was like 75% Indicas. I'm curious to see that kind of hybrid intermix on that one. You know what I'm saying? 1 second here. I'm going to make sure that I'm tightening this. Am I tightening this right? Yes. There we go. Sorry. My camera mount on the top of this tripod was a little floopy. There we go. That's much more stable. There we go. I like it. Handsome Cajun, if you mean Sensimilla bud, meaning seedless weed, all my weed typically is Sensimilla. If you're actually referencing a strain, no, I have not trained a strain called Sensimilla. Sensimilla originally is making reference to the realization that occurred in the late 60s, early 70s, that if we did knock up our weed titty plants and we allowed them to not get knocked up, all right, THC's levels went up. Bud production went up. Quality of bud went up. And that's actually started a lot of that new age indoor cultivation that was kind of the explosion of cannabis in terms of indoor cultivation and getting super high levels of THC and sort of some of the breeding eugenics that kind of came into some of those old school super strains that really started taking preface in the late 70s, early 80s, and then, kept going through the 90s of play. We've kind of started fucking with shit too much. I think a lot of stuff is overused. It's been lost or watered down. It is still out there. So that's why, for example, when we hopefully get to the place where we're able to legally release our strains and our beans, we're going to be reissuing old school genetics to the masses and to the people. That's what we hope to do when we enter that market as a company, once we figure out legally how the fuck to do that, because Canada's a piece of shit and it's really hard here. So we actually are incorporating out the States. We will have an American part of our company, and hell, we might just do it down there. Yeah, and Marcus, I'm not a huge fan of advanced, and I don't trust their automatic pHing, blah, 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 blah. Fuck it, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm skeptical on it. I haven't worked with advanced a lot. I have a lot of friends who are very much into advanced nutrients. Hell, even Adam Squatch is using them now. Part of that was because it was all he could order, actually. But, you know, what are you going to do? But at the end of the day, my friend, I don't know. I call bullshit on that sort of stuff. So just be careful. I mean, and again, pay attention to your tap and how it's coming out. Another big thing that isn't your pH, take a look at what your ppm reading is on your tap water, okay? If it's anything over 50, you're approaching hard water now, which is also going to fuck up with nutrient intake and all that kind of crap. Wow. 8? Holy shit. Well, I'm glad you're correcting that, because 8 is a fucking very high tap water. Holy shit. My goodness gracious me, I tell you, this is insane. Oh my goodness. 1 second here, I just want to quickly go up here. I just tell Wi-Fi a second, real quick. I don't know where Wi-Fi is, so we'll leave Wi-Fi on. Oh, there's Wi-Fi. Hello, love yous. Say hi, people.
Hi, people.
I love how I captured it on camera for them all to see. All right, moving on. Back to the show. Oh, everyone says bless you! She's in the background laughing. She's like, ah. All right, moving back into the fucking show right now. I need to get another beer, you know what I'm saying? I got at least one more beer here in the fridge. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Gordy's Fish. Well, I'll read it in a second. There, 1 second, everybody. I'm gonna plug the camera motherfucker in, and then we might have to plug in our hand one eventually, but. All right, so let's get back to reading what the hell everybody's saying here. All right, so Francis Bacon says here. 24 ppm at 6.5. All right, so 24 is not too bad. You're right in that middle. I think my ppm on my natural tap water here where I live comes out at 27. I did find very high amounts of chlorine in that. Chlorine, again, will naturally dissipate through oxygen. Let it just fucking sit at room temperature. You should be all right, okay? But at the end of the day, I did find low levels of arsenic in my water and a few heavy metals. Not a lot of arsenic, mind you, but I do live in a place where I'm surrounded by mines, and there's a lot of logging out here as well, which can release a lot of crap into your shit. So at the end of the day, don't do that. Oh, I'm using the wrong camera. I'm going to switch it around. Nope. Switch it around. There we go. And then flip it around. There we go. I prefer that. Better. There we are. Bring back, do you mean bring back F1s of strains that do not have a selectively reduced body? I mean, we could release some F1s. I personally prefer not to. I might release some F1s of original strains just to kind of give a gift back into society of original genetics. When it comes to strains that I want to develop, I'm definitely going to stabilize them out to an F4, F5, if having time, etc. to do so. That's the way I prefer to go it, because it's not a true created strain until you cube it, which is four generations of stabilization. Oh, right. I told everybody we're going to go around. We're going to talk a bit about what's coming on the channel. So, okay. And we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties. Bear with me just a moment, and we'll get back to the shoe. 1 second here. Technical difficulties. All right. And now we are cooking with gas. All right, sorry about that. All right, so let's go back here to the initial question that was said here. You said, that's weird. I'm not reading the messages that you're all saying on this one here, but okay, so we'll just go from here for now. And then I'm going to try to back out of this phone here and refresh this. take that off, go back into the lot. Bear with me, everybody. Technical difficulties, resetting, and we're going to start talking about some of the stuff to come. Okay, boom. I think we got this working now. All right, we are now syncing properly between the devices. Michael Cisco, but most of the thought after is the reader's cut. Can't do that with F2, just my opinion. Well, Sticky Fingers, actually, talking about the federal legalization going down in the States, I don't know if you're actually looking at quietly what's really happening in terms of all of that. I think they're fucking you on that one. I think they're using the impeachment proceedings right now to distract you from a lot of shit, and the weed thing is one of them. I think they're going to pull out. I don't think you're going to have it. I wish you would, but I think right now they're distracting the American people from quietly killing these new reforms to cannabis legislature down in the States while distracting you with the impeachment. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that one. But we're going to start talking here about what's coming. So, as you can see down here, there's this whole area down here. So, well, exactly, right, Big Mac Creates? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they already did Sticky Fingers, from what I can read through my news outlets down here. So down here, as you can see, we've never really utilized this space much. We did have some tents back down here, but at the end of the day, what are we going to do? I'm going to clear this all out. I'm going to install lights along the top here. We're going to probably rip this out. Like, we're not going to leave this hanging. I'm going to open it all up and make it a giant flowering space. It's going to be kind of like a giant T. So that's going to go that way. And we're going to have a T going down this way. I am going to go through as well and, well, one, do a better job than we did there, but try to panda film a lot of stuff. One thing I've been playing with is I kind of want to make these big floating walls. Oh, Heady Smokes, I think I lost or missed your question. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, okay. I found it, Hetty. One second. Posquatch, serious question. I'm from Wisconsin. I really want to start growing and learning. It's also illegal as fuck here. Should I bother? Could be years before Wisconsin passes anything. Well, at the end of the day, especially given the current global climate with YouTube, I cannot advocate illegal activities of any sort. What I will say to you is a statement. Will be how things change and how new laws and legislature and minds begin to change their look on things is by people being brave enough to stand up and fight for them, to stand up and shout, to stand up and believe. So at the end of the day, I hope you, I wish you the best in terms of fighting for reform. Let's leave it at that, because we got to be careful on YouTube, because the motherfuckers are going to try to kill us all and crucify us, I think. But anyway, so let's get back to what we were talking here. That's be a flower area. This is all going to be a flowering area. Eventually, I'd like to come through and convert these fuckers, build walls onto them, and make some bed shit in here, tons of stuff, or maybe even do a bunch of like micro, tiny little plants for the fuck of it. Fuck around with some soul, stick kind of things, because soul. We're going to be releasing basically a squatch stick, same as the soul stick, really, and just adding that to the line for all of you pot squatches out there. So that's a great little thing that we can probably use. Like, for example, in this kind of a height, it'd be great. But one of the main things I'm really excited about will be converting this washroom into a bedroom. So there is a shower in there currently, which I don't use. I'll also say to you, Heady Smokes, those who are crazy enough to think they can change the world usually are the ones who do. We'll leave it at that. Yes, that was originally an Apple commercial. So as you can see here, we've got a basic washroom. Whoop. Gotta fix that transition or else I'm eventually going to get drunk and kill myself. I'll probably keep the toilet in here. As you can tell, I don't use this toilet. It's a little gross. But I kind of want to extend the one top here a bit more. I'm going to run all my drivers at the top, and then I'm going to install multi-layer, 2 or 3 little layers of clones here, and sort of wall this sort of area off to make kind of like a baby clone starter area. I'm going to come through here, and I'm actually going to build a dually level into this. So I'm going to build a level off midway. And we're going to have a lighting there, We're going to do a controlled runoff with a pipe drain that comes off the second level down, and it'll feed into that. The exhaust fan in here right now is broken. So I have tons of motors in my workshop, so I'm going to replace the motor on that, and we're going to convert this into a little veg space. That's going to be step one. So converting the washroom into a veg space, eventually taking advantage of these big metal kind of racks that we have. I really want to do that. Eventually, in a perfect world, I'd love to actually try to set up a way where we had the middle row and actually run 2 bays of squatches on either side of the room and then have access through the middle. But for now, we're going to go with the T. So we're going to keep this main space through here going well, and then we're going to go over here and add on the top of that. This news article is already posted in the group as Americans distracted by impeachment. Congress silently killed cannabis reform despite support. Yeah, no, exactly. It's what's happening. I mean, you got to remember, with governments in general, especially the American government, they seem very good at it. Smoke screens and distractions. That's how you work with things. Whoop. What's up, Crying Owl? Have you sent an email to Brett at Soul Strip there, down at our production facility there down in California? If you have not done that, I would encourage you to do so. And if you have, or if you need me to just double check for you, I'm happy to do so, Crying Owl. I want to get your lights out to you too there, bud. So I got your back 100%. So you don't, just let me know on that one. Handsome Cajun. Right, some growers don't bother because photoperiods can be trained a lot more and can be taken cuttings. Well, and also too, you got to remember though too, even though that there are some very fire auto-flowering strains out there, auto-flowers will never be as strong as their parents. I don't care anyone who tells you that they can or this or that. There's a lot of good work that's been done. I think autos have their purposes, both for new growers and certain situational growers where space and time windows, etc., are limited. However, if you can have the space and the time to truly grow cannabis, you grow photoperiod. It's just what you do. That's what I do. I'm a photo grower. I'm not an auto guy. I have a lot of friends who are those. So but it's just, I think they have their purpose. I think they're a functional tool. That's a positive thing in terms of cannabis growing options. However, I do not believe, in my humble 2 cents, that really they are the bee's knees that everyone seems to make them out to be. But that's, again, just my humble 2 cents on that one. I'm a, opinionated prick. Well, exactly. Now, mind you, Marcus Ireland, I have seen some autos that do get stupid big. I've seen some autos that have gotten stupid big with stupid production, and even on quite a small pot even, too. So, I have seen things with autoflowers that I'm very impressed by. Still not going to go grow autos, but I mean, I definitely will, applaud the successes there and take my hat off to that, as it were, if you know what I'm saying. Well, exactly, Handsome Cajun. And at the end of the day, you can keep a mother plant alive for decades. And that's also the best and number one way to have genetic consistency in terms of your crops is by pheno hunting. And eventually, when you find those special things, keeping a cutting and making it, a mother plant. I often will take things as they're going, either right before I flip, or sometimes I like to monster crop my mother plants. So I'll actually take them at 2 to 4 weeks in. I also have a bit of an idea of what they're going to do at that point. So any ones that are showing promising results from a bean growth or a pheno hunt shall be called, I'm going to then keep those, and then whatever proves to finish the best, 1 or 2 things probably I'll keep as mother plant. Hey, no worries, Handsome Cajun. I'm always happy to share my 2 cents, right? That's a big part of why we do this here at Pot Squatch Growers. Big thank you again to everyone who has been using the holiday/Christmas sale on the website. Really appreciate all the support and love that everybody's been doing there. It does help a huge amount. We're not comfortable here at Pot Squatch Growers with donations. Really, we always felt weird about that. That's part of why we started the swag brand, but we're kind of glad we did, because that's kind of what led to us releasing our lighting brand, as well as sort of further expansion on the store. Phase 2 is eventually we're going to have all garden supply. Phase 4 or 5 in terms of the company is I hope to release either our own tech or co-branded tech for everything under the sun that you need for cannabis, or strike a deal with another company of some sort to get that all available for you on our store. So at the end of the day, we want to be kind of an all-in-one sort of location or stop, shall we say, for the grower. And that's one of our goals here going into 2020. So we're looking to expand all of that. But anyway, big thank you to everyone for all that support, baby. I tell you, it's a great way to help us keep the lights on here at Pot Squatch Growers. Plus, I mean, look how sexy you look with wearing one of these shirts, right? You know, or one of our hats, you know. And one of the funnest, coolest things, I think, for me in the last number of months since we've had the store open has been people sending in pictures all over the world of rocking their Pot Squatch gear, you know, wearing the shirt all over Europe, all over the States, all over Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or the hats, or the this, or people like taking the stickers they get from their orders and like slapping them up in public somewhere and then sending me a picture of that. That has been really cool. And it's just so touching. Like, I never thought we would grow and have anything come to this level. I never thought we would release a lighting brand. I didn't think we were going to eventually be on a mission where we're trying to become the Tesla of pot. We'll get there one day, my friends. See you later, Gordy's fish. Have a wonderful evening and rest well, my friend. Hell yeah, crying out. I'm a big advocate to that sentiment. Support the local grower, especially in Canada right now. We are currently witnessing a conglomerate takeover, or an attempt by conglomerates of the government, the fucking mob, basically. Because if you actually track the money back, that's who really owns a lot of them. But, they're the only ones who can afford the fucking overregulation of what the Canadian government did to the industry, most of which doesn't make any sense in actual pragmacy. Yo, what's up, 15th Ward? How you doing, baby? I'm doing well. How you doing? Hell yeah, Marcus. I can't wait to see a double Scotch. I know we've sent a number of other lights to Ireland, but I don't know if we've sent a double Scotch yet. It may just be little Scotches and big Scotches. I'm trying to remember. But it'd be cool to see a double Scotch kicking it in Ireland, you know what I'm saying? No, try Comey. You should be fine. What light are you currently using, and what are your plants used to, as it were? In terms of the, mixing in your Squatch light, I'll answer how I would do it once I know what you're rocking right now. Right now, I'm just smoking that Violator Kush from that last run. It was by far my favorite. Wasn't a big fan of the Afghani shit. That Afghani shit, one, was weirder than fuck. And it also came out really sativa-y in the way it finished, the way it smelled and tasted. And I was like, that's just a walking anxiety attack for me in most situational, parts of my day. But I've been loving this Violator Kush. Thank God that was most of our crop. I love Afghani indicas, but this shit came out like an Afghani sat. It wasn't like a skunky Afghani sat. It was weird. The one thing I did enjoy was a trifoliate mutation, which was nifty. Had the triple nodal triangle in terms of its structure, but I didn't like it though. Wasn't a big fan. Okay, about 510 watt LED cobs, brother. All right. What Calvin color are those cobs that you're rocking right now? Yeah, you do, Michael Montgomery. How is your double Squatch working for you? I got really excited when you first got it, seeing that video of, you uploading it and opening it. It was like, yay, good times. What's up, DJ Drew 24B? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. That's right. It's live time on Saturday night, baby. I fucking nailed spin on that. Oh yeah. Luckily it didn't go too deep. What's up, Mini Grow Asperia? Hello, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you as well, and Happy New Year, and all that stuff. Yeah, doing not bad, DJ Drew 24V. I tell you. Might have inhaling spit a second ago, but you know, I'm doing well. Really excited for the upgrades and stepping it up in here. And really, you know, it's been a year and a half I've owned this house and I've not done really anything. I've gotten by on the fact that I'm a decent grower and I haven't really put a lot of time into trying, because there's been so many things that we've been trying to get going here at Pot Squatch Growers other than the space. But going into 2020, that's one of the things we really want to do here. So I'm excited for all those upgrades and kind of really maximizing our space and maximizing the license and showing you a lot of cool, fun, exploratory experiments there. That's something I'm excited about. Also releasing a lot more how-to videos this year. I think that's something I'm going to actually, like, I'm even going to, like, put a small amount of sales from the store and everything to a point where we have an operating fund for just purchasing stuff or doing experiments or building things and showing you kind of cost-effective ways to build some stuff. One of the designs I really want to work on is a controlled breeding unit, the likes of which could coexist in your grow room. One of the things I'm toying around with is so you never actually have to open it. And you just fucking keep it closed. And you can water it from exterior. It's all controlled with filtration on the intake, exhaust, everything. Just keep it sexy. And try to get through a full run. That way, if I can build one of these things and pull off what I can on paper, in reality, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a self-contained breeding unit. So that's one of the things in 2020 we want to try to build and see if we can do it. And if we can't, we can't. I mean, you know, we'll be honest about that. But, I mean, you never know until you try. So, hey. Do I dab? I do. Happy Dude Grows. I'm not a dabber. I am newer to the dabbing. I have been making dabs for 2.5 years. Typically, I utilize rosins more. I put it on my rolling papers on my blunt wraps. I've been kind of doing it that way or smoking it with a bong hood. But I am dabbing. My friend Glenn Wells, big shout out to you, buddy, owner of CannaMatch.ca, taught me how to do a cold start dab with my rig. That was pretty cool. Right now, I cannot dab because I accidentally broke my bowl the other night. Dropped the rig. Rig survived, bowl did not. So I got to go buy a new quartz bowl for my dab rig. But I'll get that in the next couple of days when I drive into town. If you're talking about our lights, in actuality, when you run the numbers properly, it comes out at a 2.92 volt joule rating. The website isn't great. We are working on trying to fix that. I've got a par chart for double squatch over here on my wall in my office. That is not the camera. The phone in my hand is not the camera. Sorry about that. And we're back. I don't smoke pot at all. So this is the current setup par chart. Oops, on a double squatch, utilizing the current tech release. But that is the old tech as well. We are actually having a new release coming in the new year to the Squatch. The Squatch series, when released, we're hoping it's soon. It may or may not be. We will find out. I'm not 100% sure on that. In that we've got the tech. We're just trying to get everything worked out as well as sort of site upgrades and sort of new release crap. When it does release, it will be pretty cool. There will be 2 upgrades happening, and we will talk about those when they're ready. Because they're not quite ready yet, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer. But at the end of the day, our current rig setup rocks a par chart like that on a double squatch. If you understand a par map, that's not fucking bad at all. But we do have the most balanced par to many rigs on the market, as well as below our competitors into the water in terms of pricing as well. So how much beer does a pot squatch need to get between trips to town? Well, pot squatch just drinks beer a lot. On an average day, I don't know. Some days I only have like maybe 6 or 7 beers. Some days close to 2 or 4. Depends on my mood. Oh, what's up, Rosa Green, baby? How you doing? Good to see you. Don't judge me because I'm classy, Rose of Green. I'm very classy, man. Hello. Six pack ring still on the can, man. Fucking A, man. No, we're not doing wine today, Troy. Troy, I typically do a little wine every once in a while. Sometimes Uncle Potsquatch needs some antioxidants. So, he gives up the beer for a day or two and he switches to red wine. The antioxidants, good for you. Well, exactly, Big Mac creates. And hey, local grow, or you're talking, are you saying you're lightweight when it comes to drinking? That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. Some would say the fact that I can drink the way I can do comes from many years of drinking too much, in their opinion. I would say, fuck you. I come from drinking people. I like beer, and it's okay. But yeah, I am good at Big Dave, currently right now we are utilizing the LM561C under the current initial release. Why do we do that? Everyone was all like, oh, why don't you use the 301B? Well, the 301B at the time when we were doing all of this and releasing the rigs and building stuff only had a 7 to 8% efficacy increase, which is only on paper. When it comes to the operating parameters of a grow space, that goes down to like 2 or 3%. And at the time, with current existing tech, not utilizing the no H chip, we'll talk about that later. Was going to add like 40% cost to the rig at the time when we were developing shit. And it was like, why would we do that? That's like for 2 or 3% efficacy, that's bullshit. So what we did is we took the LM561C and we did the math out the ass on our rig setup. And we found a way to actually beat the rigs with the 301B utilizing the LM561C. I can't tell you our release, but maybe people are smart enough to put 2 and 2 together on what I'm alluding to, what's coming. But you never know. But yes, that is currently what we're doing. And we have new, exactly fun things coming. I tell you, when you see what we have coming, when it's Friday, man, you're going to be like, holy shit, man, it's pretty cool. What's up, Josh Lowry? Did I miss a question? I'm sorry if I missed your question, Josh Lowry. Oh, sorry, Trichomy. I'm fucking getting all over the place. Yeah, dude, you're totally fine. What Calvin color on the big squatcher you want to go with? Go 3500. It's the way to go, at least in my humble opinion. And I've been reading a lot of interesting articles. I haven't done the comparison contrast, but I've read a lot of recent articles where a lot of guys who are super light nerds, even like know vastly more than I do, done a lot of experimentation in terms of Calvin colors, in terms of what we're getting out of sort of diodes, both in terms of both quantity and quality. And again, 3500 just keeps coming back to be that super magical spot that we titty cannabis plants like. Oh, totally, Nicole Lynn. And I agree in terms of that stuff with liquor. I won't lie to you. When I was younger, I drank way too much. There was a couple of times where I had to rein it in. I actually quit drinking one time for, I believe it was 123 days. And Mrs. Potsquatch, well, she didn't really need to quit drinking, or as much as I did anyway. But she was very supportive and did it with me and kind of got my head on my shoulders a little bit. Kind of got a new perspective on my shit. And so moderation is key, and also self-communication and honesty when it comes to drinking. So be careful with that liquor juice. Well, DJ Drew, I'm not actually sure when we're doing that release. So, I mean, you can wait if you want. The lights are cranking. I'm rocking the LM561Cs right now, and I'm a happy boy, as is everybody around the world who are now currently rocking the Squatch Lighting Systems. So, I mean, it's really up to you. The new upgrade will cost more money, but I can't talk about that because we're not formally releasing this shit. So, when it's ready, just know that I'm doing everything I can, as is my cohort Brett, to make everything affordable for you. We've got some good shit coming when it comes. We're not ready yet, but when it's ready, it'll just trust us. We got it coming, baby. We love you. Yeah, 3,500 straight through, but you actually get a higher yield from a lot of people's research. I have worked with 3,035. That's my two Calvin colors in terms of chips that I've worked with. My HLGs that I had before the Squatch release were 3,000, and I prefer the 3,500. I got a better quality of medicine. I got a better yield even than I got with that 3,000. So even though that 3,000 is getting close to that HPS number, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be saying that that's the way to go. You get more chronic and better chronic at 3,500 than you get with 3,000 in my humble 2 cents. So. Well, Tristan Long, the one thing to watch out on your Mars TS is they do burn out very quickly. So just make sure you don't have your environment running too hot. Do what you can to help that system along to have it not burn out. The fuckers burn out real quick. So just be careful with that and take care of it is going to be my suggestion on that one. One second here. I'm trying to... What's up, Tath and Blondie? How you doing? Exactly, everyone. I like that message as well. New Year's Eve is coming. Drink, don't drive. Safe Ride exists in Saskatoon. What do? Well, you get drunk, you call them, two drivers show up, they drive you home in your own car, wake up with your car, you're not dead. Fuck yeah. All right. Nobody go killing themselves over the holidays or else I'm going to fucking have to psychically attack you as a ghost because I'm going to be pissed off. Make smart decisions. Or at least, no, make smart, stupid decisions. That's my mantra. One second here, everybody. I'm trying to play catch up now. Well, exactly, and that's kind of what our lights are designed to do. They're designed to run and keep running. Currently, to the history of the existence of the initial Mark I Soul Strip tech that ever came out. Because they started out predominantly a parts company before we came along. They did have kind of some pre-existing rigs that they kind of made occasionally, and that is the basic blueprint of what we utilize to formalize and release the Squatch series and start fucking around and just, going for it. But predominantly, they were a parts company before we came along. And to this date, there has not been a single Soul Strip that is burnt out. So, our tech's good. Don't burn out, baby. So simply put, we build lights that are meant to run and keep running. We're not selling lights that have a designed shelf life so that we know we have a repeat customer because no matter what you do, that fucker's fucked now and it burnt out. Nope, that's not what we're about. What we're about is let's fucking make a hot rod style rig. We'll keep it simple, but make sure it works. Do the math out the ass on it. Make it out of the best parts. Don't rape people's pockets with a huge markup on our tech. Make it affordable and accessible and design the fucker to be run forever. Well, not forever, but for fucking years and years and fucking years. Even a shitty piece of crap light should run for at least 2 or 3. And at the end of the day, if something were to ever hypothetically break or fuck up on it, if it's out of the warranty period, we're going to make parts accessible. And we're lying. I think the Wi-Fi was being weird there. One second, everybody. We're going to say hi to the wife. Hey, wife, how you doing? Good. Need beer. What are you doing? Fuck yeah, nice. And I can see you'll have many Christmas candies. Say hello, Miss Potsquatch, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I queen wave at you.
Do you have a special holiday message for the masses?
Don't eat too much candy.
Yes, diabetes too is real.
But don't drink and drive either?
No, just say drink, don't drive. Hey! All right. We endorse that statement too. One second, everybody. Just transferring back to the lab. So how are we liking this new format? I'm kind of liking it using the 2 cell phones, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit better than the computer and shit, Now it's reconnecting and we're there. Sorry, the internet is a little weak here. I got to get a new router eventually because this one seems to shit the bed sometimes. But what are you gonna do? Oh, DJ Drew 24V, you're more than welcome to tell people about the lights and share the brand. Totally 100% okay. Because basically telling your friends, letting people know about what we're about, and what we're doing in terms of the tech and what we're about and sharing the tech out there, that is one of the most helpful things you can do to help us along with that. Because the more lights we sell, the more healthy our position is in terms of both future acquisitions, developments, tech acquiring. One thing, for example, that's been going down is Meanwhile drivers, which are the Cadillac engine of drivers. They won, their costs gone up a little bit recently, which has been fun. But we don't care. We keep our prices the same. It's part of riding it out. But also, too, they have been on lower supply, harder to purchase. So we have been quietly going around and basically purchasing all of them anywhere we can find them quietly to keep up with demand. So at the end of the day, though, so by purchasing lights, we're able to be in a place where we're kind of making smart decisions and upgrading certain things to try to be the best that we can be for all of you and bring you some fucking sexy grow lights. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's my very long-winded answer of just basically saying yes. So that would be completely okay and definitely would be appreciated, my friend, DJ Drew 24V. Ketchup now, and I don't mean the condiment. And I'm gonna switch this around as well. Oh, woo. There we go. Now push that back. There's the camera. That angle should hopefully work. And now we're going to try to catch up here on everyone's messages. Josh Larry on the big squatch, if I'm remembering correctly. It's $309 USD or something like that. 310 USD, something like that. Pamphlets are over there in the room. I could be remembering that incorrectly. I think it's 309, or is it 330 something? I can't remember. Something like that. I'm off by a couple bucks possibly, but yeah. Basically, try chroming. Your girls might get a little stressed in terms of some of their fan leaves. If you are worried about the Big Squash Edition, don't. What I would say is bring it in, hang it high at first, and bring it down. For example, with these new babies, when I brought them into the lab, I've got one double squatch going right now. Wait, that's not the camera. I got one double squatch going right now. And so for that double squatch, though, I've kept it up very high above the plants for the last week. And now I'm going to bring those down in the next day or two and start to get sexy and get cranking on the plant. So hang it high and bring it down slowly. Give it a week, then bring it down. Or since you're already in flower, which I think you are, maybe introduce it and bring it down every 2 days until you get right up in it. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't have an issue. I think you should be all right, man. I'm not worried. But yeah, you might see some crispiness on your fan leaves as a thing, but don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right. Oh, DJ Drew 24V. No, I totally feel you on that one, and it's not overstepping. It's very sweet and appreciated. The fact though that you were thinking about that way, just to be respectful, that is also very beautiful, my friend. One second here. I'm just trying to play catch up now. Josh Lowry, we do not build a dimmer in because it's a Meanwhile driver. Meanwhile drivers are adjustable. As you notice, we use the 480H, but our lights draw 620 watts to the wall. It's because it's adjustable. So at the end of the day, you can adjust it that way. But building in an actual dimmer switch or potentiometer into the circuit is stupid. They burn out, they suck, and when the driver itself can be adjusted, it's just a waste of time. So yes, but not via like a dimmer switch, if that makes sense to you. Hell yeah, Matty Grow Australia. What are you trimming today? What has got you locked in the trim jail, Spain wide? Yes, Happy Dude Grows. There are, for example, a double squatch. One second here. Let me flip the damn. Again, that's not the fucking camera. God damn it. So, a double squatch consists of 2 fixtures. Each fixture is run off a singular 480H 24 amp Meanwhile. Now we've got that puppy sucking about 620 watt at the wall, all right? Now, they come with 4 to 5 feet of cabling on your fixtures, okay? We can do greater amounts of cabling if requested or required for your lights, all right? But we are going to say don't go past 10 feet because at 10 feet is when voltage loss begins to set in. What the fuck does that mean? Well, we can make it simple here. The longer you'll go, the less powerful it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you can totally fit that into a 4x4, my friend. You could. Alright, yes. So Josh Lowry, because we are a co-branded co-release with the company Soulstrip, and we work together as a team, we have a co-landing page. In terms of PodSquatchGrowers.com, you will find the link at the bottom of the page, but I believe Mike has already sent it to you. Yes, our website sucks, everybody. I am working on that. I am not a website builder. If any of you out there know how to do that, help me, please. Okay, moving on. What's 3 times now? What did I do now? What did I do 3 times, Michael Montgomery? Well, exactly. And my big thing with potentiometers, Blop, is they burn out fucking faster than shit. I have yet to meet one that's worth crap, in my humble 2 cents. So fuck it. I think they're a waste of time. See, everyone, Happy Dude Grows understands. And also, by the way, Powerline Tech, huge fucking respect to your line of work and what you all do. Big shout out to the electricians and line techs out there maintaining our power grid and systems. Without you, we titties could not exist unless we're solar or something and off grid or have a backup genny. But you know what I'm saying. Nah, it'll fit. It'll fit. Happy Dude Grows. Just barely, but she'll fit. And then mount the driver on the outside of your tent, so that'll keep your ambient heat output fine. Ah, the camera mix-up. Yeah, well, first time with this format and playing around. At least I'm consistent, I guess we could go with, right? So. Oh, there you go, Texas Pete. Was he proud of you? Did your little brother look up to you with a new respect now? No, exactly, Michael. Like, I understand how I'm naturally arriving at that, but, you know. I'm used to doing it all with the one, right, for so long that I'm still trying to adjust to using this tripod a bit. What's up, Suburban Knife? How you doing? Yes, that is true, Mini Grow Australia as well. Like, wind burn from your fans is a legitimate, real thing, everyone. Be careful. Air movement's important, but you don't want to have too much air hitting your plants, especially consistently, because that will create wind burn. Wind burn is a very real thing. I often got wind burn a bit on the corner there, the one side, and a bit on this side when the way I've been sort of running it. It was an accepted thing for me because it was barely anything just on the small little corner, so I left it alone. But wind burn is real. Be aware. Josh Lowry, making me want to go Chief. Laugh out loud. I don't understand what that means, but all right. Marcus Ireland retracted a message. Josh Lowry, question mark. I'm confused now, Josh. What? What did you say earlier? I don't know. Josh Lowry, the lights should be fairly quick in California because they're built in California. Definitely a quicker shipping time. Typically, we do our best. Like, if it's just a light or two order, we're very easy on that. The bigger orders have been proven to take us a little bit longer. We are working on speeding that up in the new year. There's a lot more coming in terms of how we're building these. They are built custom order to hand for everybody. So we do our darndest to have smaller orders out in 2 weeks from the shop. Bigger orders do take a little bit longer. We are working on getting that time down in the new year, and hopefully in January we'll have kind of really stepped up our game in that regard. We are hoping to hopefully go down to California in January as well and shoot a video kind of showing you the space and the setup and where the Squatch lights are born and birthed and how it's thing. You know, it's gonna be nice. Everyone gets to meet Brad. We're gonna smoke some weed. We're gonna say hi to everybody. It's gonna be a good time. Hector Hernandez. Well, typically in my grows, I'm usually watering either every day or every other day. Feeding usually in flower 2 to 4 times a week, depending on what my plants are needing or how I'm approaching feeding. A set feeding regime is not the way to go. Learning about nutrient deficiencies, different genetics, and that different genetics like different things, and sort of having an adaptability to kind of play with it and kind of go. Start small, work it up, and learn is the best way to go in terms of learning feeding. Because at the end of the day, a set regime is not going to work for everything. Everything's a little different, and sort of the subtle nuances of difference between genetics and requirements and how to play with them, quote unquote, I think is a big variable that goes into making some of the best candidates, you know what I'm saying, Phil. Happy Dude grows. I believe the exact at the wall draw on a double squatch is 620. Yes, they do, Texas Pete, but Jake's all-in-one will butt fuck them up the ass. I know a lot of people who kind of grow, but I don't know. Most of the people that I know that grow either are like hardcore growers or newer growers who are very hungry to learn, to be honest with you. So I don't know if I can relate to that one, brother. What's up, Eden Swede? How you doing? Hey, thank you very much, Eden Swede. Much love back to you. How's Toronto doing? Tell T-Dot I say hello. No, it's not Hector Hernandez, but remember, overwatering can be very real. So if your pot still has a fair amount of moisture in its medium, let's say if you're growing in a medium, like soil. I'm a soil grower, it's my favorite way to go. Don't go drenching it all the time. Sometimes letting it dry out before you water again is also very important. So kind of playing around with that, it's not bad to let them dry out occasionally, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you're asking about a sort of a comparative kind of idea in terms of that. Yes, the double squatch is what we call our Vita killer or 1,000-watt replacement idea, shall we say. Now, mind you, LED lighting tech in general, in comparative to HPS, is different. They work differently. So you can't just easily compare them exactly the same because they're just not. But yes, this rig, the double squatch rig, is what we would call our Gavita killer, shall we say. Well, Marcus Island, you know, it's both simplistic and complex. I mean, that's what allows for some of that crazy dag cannabis, you know. Plus, I mean, back in the day, they didn't really put as much into growing weed as we do now, you know. Over the last 40 years, I mean, we've come, you know, huge levels in terms of indoor growing tech and sort of paying attention to it, right? So, you know, look at sort of some of the pictures from High Times from the 70s about weed. Fucking freak out. Grow Prodigy, I've kept a mother alive for about 12 years. I believe I'm remembering her age correctly. The oldest mother plant I've ever met was a little over 30 years old. The one thing to remember, sometimes you can have viral buildup in terms of those mother plants. And if that does happen, another way to rejuvenate that is by taking an actual cell sample or tissue culture and clone that, which will remove all viral issues from the plant, and it'll be a way to bring that genetic back in an exact replication asexually while dealing with a viral buildup in terms of plant tissues. But, you know, you can keep it alive for a long fucking time. I mean, every 19 months you're going to have to trim the root ball and kind of do some things, keep her healthy, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, no, it's doable. Very doable. Yes, Grow Prodigy, are you just cloning from clone from clone from clone? Be careful on that. Genetic degradation will eventually set in. Could take 1,000 times, could take 10, could take 2. You never know. What's up, Rodney Lapine? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Yes, so Jeffrey Pearson, if you want to go like a really natural old school way, some people will release ladybugs inside their house. I don't like that, so typically any form of pest that's going to come fuck with me, this is my go-to these days. It sounds stupid, but it works. That's why we sell it on our store now and do business with their company, because it's good shit, and it works. And it's all natural shit, so good shit, man. I'm doing well, man. Just, another live stream show, having a good time, talking to everybody. Much love, hanging out, you know what I'm saying, Saturday Night Live. Oh, yeah, you can order them from Amazon. They show up. It's pretty cool. Another way to go is you can get some praying mantises if you have access to those. Who was it? Blanking. Who posted the thing in the Pot Squatch Growers group where it was like your Christmas tree, and if you see this coming in your Christmas tree, it is actually like all these little baby praying mantises in there. That was pretty cool. Crap! I can't remember. Brain's blanking. It was Michael. Robbie Stone. Wasn't it you who posted that? I remember, I think. It was pretty cool. Praying mantises are pimp. They look like aliens. Grow Prodigy, nah, man. Keep them alive forever, man. Don't kill them and create a new one. Keep them alive. Take care of them. The ones that we ended up killing, that's a long story. Earlier on the channel, I mean, we had those for like, fuck. Those ones were at least a couple of years old. Oh, no worries, Rodney Lapine. I mean, you can always watch it back. But that's nice. Yeah, the room here, we got her going. The ladies is doing all right. Baby's starting to come out. Starting to bounce back. Tomorrow, we're going to be bringing the lights down. We're also talking earlier in the show about how going forward into 2020, we're going to be expanding the grow space. We're going to be growing and flowering in here as well, kind of creating a giant T in our space there. We're also, first step will be converting the washroom here into both a shitter, but also making it a veg space. We're going to do a dually level on this one here, and we're going to do a dually level split. Light there, light there. We're going to convert these into some baby areas as well over on these shelving units. So that's one of the things that's going to be exciting coming to the new year is some upgrades on the shit. Know what I'm saying? All right, one second here. Nope, Grow Prodigy, I disagree in every way. The fact of the matter is there used to be an issue with LED technology and density. It doesn't exist anymore when it comes to real professional grade LED tech. So no, I will disagree. I would say that up until the last couple of years, really, yes, there was an issue, but a big part of that is because a lot of people weren't really treating LED the way it needs to be treated. It is not a direct comparative. You can't do that. You gotta. It's a different way to approach it. But at the end of the day, no, I'm gonna have to disagree on that one. I think that up until last few years, like I said, yes, there has been a comparative issue, but overall now, no, that issue, which was a lacking of power intensity, a lacking of just general light to create the density that we all know and love in certain genetics. Is no longer an issue. But it has been in the past. Definitely has been in the past. I will concur with that 100%. Well, probably the next... If I were to record another song for everybody karaoke-wise, eventually maybe I'll do Dennis Leary's I'm an Asshole, because that's another one I like to do, you know what I'm saying? Hey, no worries, Jeffrey Pearson. Much love, my friend. 1 second here. I'm trying to play catch-up here real quick. No worries, Thrill. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. Well, exactly, Michael Montgomery. And as well, it's like genetics are a big part, and you have to understand how certain techs differ, right? Like the wavelengths of light that come out of an LED compared to how an HPS in general works are very different. HPS kind of comes out and just like crams light down the plant's throat. Plants don't actually really like that, to be honest with you. But when it comes to the LED, the way the light works is it's much more easily absorbed into the plant. The plant is more easily able to utilize it. So that's actually where, yes, where there was a lacking of density in the past, which was due to lack of light intensity with LED rigs. Yes. But LED, even before, when it was underpowered, was able to compete. Why? Because it was more conducive to the plant. And the plant liked that type of light better in terms of its own ingestion of the light. So at the end of the day, now that we have rigs that crank the fuck out now, squawk lighting system, for one, right? That issue is not really a thing anymore, especially when properly utilizing the light. But yeah, you know, it has been a long journey for LED lighting tech in terms of growing. Like, I first started fucking around with shit when I was paying like $700 for like a 120 watt blurple piece of shit. And it's just night and day difference. And that was years ago back in the day. What's up, Phillies fan 215? How you doing, my friend? Good to see ya. Valid question, Chris Matos. I don't know a lot about autos, but if anyone has any suggestions on good places or companies for autos, feel free to share that for our friend Chris Matos. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you very much, Nicole Lenman. That's very kind of you. Oh, hell yeah, Grow Prodigy. I love LED growing. I switched to LED tech back in the day for my home setups before the tech was there. Because one, I saw its potential, and it was a fun thing. It felt like Star Trek. It felt like new things. And now, you know, now that we got some fucking hardcore cranking desktop technologies now, right? Like, it gets more fun. I'm gonna do it this way. We'll sing it here. Vaughn Williams said something. Just saw it. Ooh, this. There we go. What's up, Squatch? How are you? What is your favorite strain to grow? Well, Vaughn Williams, I'm doing well. In terms of favorite strain, I don't have a favorite strain to grow, but I mean, I am in love with indicas. Indica in general is my happy place. It always will be. I hate sativas. Some nice hybrids out there too, for sure. But my number one thing, my favorite fucking thing ever to grow, typically, usually I'd have to go with this 100% grown Kushes, baby. I'm a Kush motherfucker. I'm in the Kush. The Kush family is such a beautiful, nuanced world of many different options from all around the world, but they all have sort of that likeness, that's sort of that Kushiness factor that we can all kind of, you know, at least Kush lovers identify, right? Right, Thrill? Kush life for life, baby. Well, Flippy Dippy, stretch is different for every plant. I mean, you can even have plants that are different phenotypes from the same set of beans, same strain, act very differently in terms of their stretch. Some plants will very quickly stop stretching after about 2 or 3 weeks. Some plants will stretch almost all the way throughout flower in certain senses. Sometimes when you have an extended stretch, it might be lack of light intensity, or they're trying to fight for light, or they're fighting each other. So sometimes there's some secondary environmental crap you got to address in terms of that. Because you got to remember, where they may not have a conscious thought. Weed plants are extremely intelligent. It's astonishing what they will do and how they will act. Pot psychology, in a sense, of the plant is very much a thing. So, you know, it's pretty nifty in that sense. Well, Big Mac creates, as far as I'm concerned, that's all you really need. That's pretty fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there we go. And recommendations for successful runs with the autos from Fast Buzz Bank. There we go. Well, that's the thing, Vaughn Williams, too, right? Like, at the end of the day, too, like, things are so intermixed now that a lot of things out there in general are a little bit of mix of both. And even still, some have like weird ruderalis lines that have been mixed into them, but then that photo period genetic's not there. But sometimes there could be some secondary high CBD levels in certain sort of runoff strains. One could also argue the fact that the species differential more and more as years go by between sativa and indica is less and less and no longer actually a breakdown, because back in the day, if it looked like an indica, it would hit like an indica, and typically if it was looked like a sativa, it would hit like a sativa. But now we've got these weird intermixed genetics from, well, over fucking certain strains, in my opinion, where like you'll have a sativa that'll come out and look and act like a sativa, but when you actually smoke it, it smells and tastes and hits like an indica, and vice versa, right? So, I mean, the world's a little weird like that. I mean, I don't know if they're still existent today. The original commercialized auto flower was brought to us by the Joint Doctor. So anything by him would be some of the initial works, if you want to go nostalgia wise as well, back to the days, because pretty much everyone else basically just ripped him off and then started using what he was doing to then do their own things. So the original autoflower master who started developing things like the low rider number one, the low rider number two, etc., was the Joint Doctor back in the day. Cool motherfucker. Check him out. Google it. I don't know if things that he does are still available or if it's a thing that has passed into the annals of time and I'm just aging and old. I don't know. Well, hell yeah, a little seltzer. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, right? It doesn't hurt anything. Yeah, either get a humidifier, but again, if you're using an actual humidifier, remember those fuckers are built to crank. They're built to do what they're meant to do. So you can have an accidental spike if you're not careful and you've got it sort of dialed in properly. So dialing in a humidifier, an actual humidifier, makes me nervous sometimes, in terms of a grow space. I prefer to do more traditional things of just put some giant fucking things of water in your grow space. Have two different sensors in your room at different ends. Do an average median, or maybe do one on one end, one on the other end, and one in the middle. Do a median average of the relative humidity, and then place your buckets accordingly to a grid zone around the edge of the room. And then watch that. If it gets too high, well, just turn on your dehumidifier. But that putting a humidifier in can be dangerous. So yeah, that's typically the way I would approach raising relative humidity in a grow space. But like, I mean, that's just kind of my idea and my way. It's not very tech fancy. It's just a bucket of fucking water or two. But you know, um, one second here. DJ Drew 24B. Should I use my humidity controller to have the humidifier turn on and off in conjunction with the exhaust? Uh, if so, it stays at a constant. Well, no, because okay, no, because that's not really going to equal it maintaining. I prefer to think of them as two separate systems. So your exhaust is something that you're going to utilize, but exhaust is never really, unless you're cranking a huge amount of exhaust out of your space, a huge thing. So keep them as separate systems. I typically like to run my dehumidifiers away from where my exhaust mount will be. It gives me a better performance for my wattage going into both units and what they're doing. Well, no, not really, just mostly the dehumidifier, but keeping it over there is a more positive way to approach it. And so that's kind of how I like to do that one. Um, and then sort of run my exhaust sort of in different areas, right? So I'm not saying it's not accurate, Chris Matos. I get nervous utilizing said things. It's just my old superstitions. Louis 300, 3500. In my experience, gives you not only the greatest yield, it gives you the greatest medicine. And there's a lot of research that's coming out from a lot of other LED tech nerds that are even smarter, vastly smarter than I am. And it is proving that 3,500 Kelvin is the money spot, both for quantity and quality. 3,500 Kelvin is the way to go, baby. Hell yeah, Michael Montgomery. I think I have had supercritical. I did enjoy that to a point. Eden's weed. Why dangerous? I just don't trust a digital thing that is adding in humidity, right? I would rather keep the system more simplistic in the way I'm going to approach it, Eden. So by keeping standing water in the room to naturally augment the relative humidity and utilizing a singular point of access system, like just a single dehumidifier, dealing with that naturally releasing is just kind of the way I'm going to go on that one. Because, I don't know, just the idea that there is a device that could shoot all this humidity into my room while using another device to counteract it is just, it's overthinking the thought. You don't need it. It's no. I mean, that's where I'm kind of old school, new school in a lot of ways. I'm super into new age tech toys. We're a lighting brand, right? But at the same time, certain things I do, I'm very much an old curmudgeon. One, DJ Drew 24V, switch them out every few days, you're fine. Or put some hydrogen peroxide in there to kill anything that might come through, and you're fine. And we're not talking like huge buckets even too, unless it's a big space. Like if it's a big space like mine, then yes, utilize some 5 gallons. But if it's a smaller space, smaller bucket. And again, these are just my humble 2 cents on how to do things and sort of my approach to it, right? So I'm not the end all be all of cannabis knowledge in any way. I'm just a madman who lives in the woods who grows some pretty good weed, you know, and I'm on a mission to share what I know. And I've also learned a lot from the community, from all of you, because the true grower is the forever student. I mean, that's true growing. If there's one lesson, then I'll tell you that is the truth. It would be that the true grower is the forever student. Never close your mind off from ideas or new age shit. Keep an open mind, but keep it smart. Keep it sharp. Keep it open, but keep it smart at the same time. My fucking phone that I'm shooting this fucker with is about to die, so we gotta plug this baby in. And the great thing about the new way to do it here. Oh yeah, man. I mean, club soda or seltzer or carbonated water is something that a lot of people have started doing because of me, which was weird. I didn't realize how little people did that. The first person who taught me that was a grower back in the day, years ago, in my early 20s. 1 second here, everybody. Just going to take a piff here. But he was actually, now, I don't know if this is a true story, mind you, but he was supposedly the grandson of Dr. Atomic. Dr. Atomic is a Canadian-American grower and breeder from back in the day. One of the things about Dr. Atomic, he had an obsession, or a love, you could say, for the strain Northern Lights. So, all the strains predominated, I think almost everything he ever released in his own personal career of shit was an intermix of Northern Lights with other taps to crown it. You know what I'm saying? So he was a guy who loved his Northern Lights. So, but anyway, that was actually the one who taught me back in the hood days the club soda, the seltzer trick. That's where I picked that one up. It was not a self-invented thing. It was suggested to me by a friend. And when I was a young grower and I tried it out, it would have been about, maybe 2021 at this time. So I've been growing for some years, And no, just ever since I loved the trick and kept using it. So. Excuse me. Oh, I feel you, Chris Manos. I mean, for me, when I get my plants, especially in the last run we were running 10 and 20 gallon buckets. So There was a lot more general root medium than the previous grows that we've done on the channel. So like that was a big thing. We were running a dehumidifier during flower this run because we were getting some very high numbers in here. So it was a great investment. We purchased a 70 pint dehumidifier. Works great. Love the fucking thing. Quintessential component to an indoor grow. Unless you're in a climate that's so naturally dry that you never run into that. But you know, right? Second here. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I was actually thinking about running Northern Lights next. Nice. Yeah, Yo-Yo. This little, she's a little sick. We're still bringing her back. This is the Northern Lights right here. We're gonna bring her back to health and make her a mother and take some cunning. So probably 2 or 3 grows. You'll probably see us rocking some of this Northern Lights there. And again, big shout out to Troy Shepard. This was a gift from him. Short out the pot. Let's try that again. Sip of beer, lubricate neurons. 1 second. Big shout out to Pilgor 420. That's not what you're called on YouTube anymore, but I can't remember your new name. Something Pilgor Farms, maybe. These are your bubble cushions right there. Looking beautiful. Over here, the main 5 around the outer ring, we've got the Gorilla Blue. We've got 3 sisters who are all neck and neck in terms of development. These 2 are slightly behind, but I'm very happy. The one in the middle is that piece of shit purple kush that we got from Crop King or whatever the fuck they're called seeds. Shit fucking seeds is what they should be called. Crap. Quick Shift Gaming. How do I prefer in terms of curing my plants? Well, simply put, there we go. See, Pilgor says Visible Farms Pilgor 420J. Thank you very much. Couldn't remember the name. I'll probably just call him Pilgor 420 forever. The simple mind of a stoner. But also, too, to get back to Quick Shift Gaming. Okay, 1, curing cannabis, it is a thing of patience. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. But there is an art and a science to it. The first trick to properly cured cannabis is properly dried cannabis. So, the first step of curing is properly doing step 1 right. What does that look like? What does that mean? Well, it means we want our cannabis to dry slowly. We don't want it to dry fast. We're not going to trim our shit wet. We dry trim that shit. We're going to leave, we'll clean it up. We're going to take most of those fan leaves off, most of that sugar trim, all that shit. We'll leave it on the weed titty, right? Because 1, it's going to slow the rate at which the weed titty dry. And if you got the room to do it, cut the whole fucking plant down. Cut it down at the bottom and hang the whole fucker. Clean up the whole plant and hang it that way. Because there's cannabinoids all up in the branches and in the stock. That's going to go down your weed titties. Because gravity, it's a thing. It happens. I'm not floating. Not yet. But you know what I'm saying? Right? So you do that. And you keep it. I like to dry in cool temperatures. I like to have my dry window at bare minimum. If it's really dry, it should still be taking me 7 or 8 days. But typically, if I can get it to that magical day 12, 12-day dry period, if I can pull that off where it's exactly perfectly ready at 12 days of time, makes me happy. I like to dry in a relative humidity of 50 to 55. I also like to grow at that relative humidity throughout the entire grow personally. Some people like to get really humid up in veg and they feel it works better. That's fine. I don't think it's personally worth the risk in terms of an indoor environment. That's, again, my 2 cents on approach, right? But then once that's ready, then what you're going to do is you're going to go through when they're ready and you're going to fucking take everything out and you're going to put it in your jars. You might clean it up a bit as you break it down, but you're not doing your final trim. Throw it in your jars. And then you can work your way through your jars at your own fucking pace. But if you got a lot of sugar trim on the weed titty, when you put it in the jar, it's going to be burping more. It's going to be giving off more gases. So burping and letting it breathe while you're doing that final trim through your jars is very important. All right. Typically at that time, I'm going to be burping my weed at least every day for the first week while I work my way through my trim. Hit that bitch, burp for about an hour every day. Very important. Sometimes take all the weed titty out, rearrange them, put them back in the jar and go that way. And in terms of curing, things will initially begin to settle into what they're going to be at 3 to 6 weeks of cure, and typically they will, often most cannabises will take another month or 2 to get to that beautiful place. I've seen cannabises though that don't truly mature in terms of doing like a long-term cold cure on them for months and months and months. So it's like, you know, it's part of the learning and play of growing, I mean, drawing and curing is the most important part next to growing it properly. Why would you work so hard to grow something properly to not finish it the right way? A lot of people rush through that, or trying to dry fast, or trying to do this, that, which I personally feel is a sacrilegious thing to weed titty. I mean, like, why would you work so hard to do something right just to go fuck it up? You know what I'm saying? But that's, again, just my humble two cents. Back in the hood days, Michael Montgomery. Northern Lights number 4, if I'm remembering correctly, was what I crossed with Master Kush, which made the super mama that is haunted my dreams ever since I lost that, because I was a young grower and I didn't realize what I had found until now when I'm old and I know things. And, you know, the great white buffalo, right? Yo-yo, I prefer to not feminize seeds if I can not have to do it. Because remember, when we were feminizing a seed, we were genetically fucking with the genome of shit. So I prefer a traditional non-feminized seed. It's better genetics, it's better practice, it's better for the longevity of genetic integrity of cannabis for the future generations of weed titty lovers and growers. So, but sometimes it's your only option, so that's what you have to do, if that makes sense. Yes, I've smoked God's Gift, never grown it. Not bad. It's alright. Heady smokes. Every weed's a little different. Mostly the way I grow weed and the way I finish it, it'll feel crunchy on the outside, but it's got some juice to it on the inside, if that feels or makes sense to you. One thing I've noticed that is a difference between my weed and everyone else's weed is that my shit seems to be like coated with this candy licked crunch the way I finish and the way I grow and the way I do it, which is not there on a lot of other people's grows. Kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like a sexy coated trike lacquer or something, right? So it's a little bit crunchy on the outside the way I finish it, the way I slow dry, the cool dry, and all that. But then it kind of keeps the natural inside beautiful and perfect. So that's why when you get good at doing it that way, and you kind of just get used to feeling when it's ready for the jar, you can get some pretty crazy results and finishes. And especially as you cure them, the noses that will then come off that finish in terms of that, it's very nice. One second here, everybody. I'm just playing catch up. Well, again, quick shift gaming, doing a cold cure, treat it like a normal cure. Time windows sort of stay the same in certain senses. I wouldn't straight cold cure. I'd give it 4 to 6 hours at room temperature, and that's how I would do it. So don't go straight cold cure. Going back and forth is going to help expedite the respiration and burping of the cannabis, as well as helping to develop some really nice terpene notes. So leave it at room. Like, I mean, if you really want to get over retentive on it every day, like pull it out for a few hours, 3 to 6 hours. Keep it in the dark though, obviously, and then put it back into that fridge at cold cure. Usually about 3 to 6 degrees centigrade in your fridge is pretty good. What's up, Afro Squatch? Long time no see as well. How you been, my friend? Good to see you. Hey, no worries, Marcus. Rest well, my friend. Keep it sexy. Rock and roll. Michael Montgomery, I do believe that things get to 32. I've seen things go into the 40s. In terms of the THC saturation content, there are genetics out there that are insane. The highest THC strain in existence, to my knowledge of strains, and I'm a bit of a nerd that way, especially with old school shit, is called Kootenai Gold. It is one of the most elusive rare strains in British Columbia, one of the kings or queens, I guess it's a female plant technically in terms of growing weed tea, I should say, out of BC. It's harder than shit. I've been trying to get a true bean or cutting of that for years. It's Very coveted, very guarded, almost impossible to acquire in either sense. Occasionally you get to try the flower itself, but try to get the genetic to grow. But it has a testing point of 42 or 43%. And to my knowledge, it is the highest number that has ever been witnessed in terms of sort of a cannabis THC saturation content. But we also got to remember that THC is not the number one fucking thing or the only thing. I mean, it's the plethora of terpenes and cannabinoids and psychoactive, chemicals in the cannabis plant, up to 468 plus in there, man. There's a lot of different things in there that make you feel good, make you feel nice. That's why, like, a lot of people, like, for example, like when I smoke a distillate that has predominantly just THC in it, there's nothing else in it. I smoke it, I feel like something's missing. I don't like it, That's why I like rosins, because I'm crushing out the natural essence of all the cannabinoids in the plant, rather than using pH differentials to separate them out via a distillate machine. I mean, that's just me. Keep it natural, keep it sexy, keep it tasty, keep all that good weed titty juice in there, you know what I'm saying? Hey, thank you very much, Quick Shift Gaming. Big shout out to Ontario. I was born in Burlington, grew up in London, Ontario, my friend. My wife's from Napanee. Yeah, yo. It's Kootenai Gold. Look it up. It's insane. It is, and it's the Great White Buffalo. It still exists. I will find it. I've always known, though, that I'm probably going to have to go up to Nelson, BC, which is where it hails from in that area, and just spend some time with the community and get to know people, and eventually I would find it. I've always known that that's probably the only way I'm going to get the real Kootenai Gold, is to go up there and make friends with someone who's an older grower who has it, so... Well, thank you. Felix Finance 215. I appreciate that. Bonnie Lapine, how do you spell it? Kootenai Gold? It's I could probably type it. I'm typing it. Search that. You'll find it. Oh, no A. I spelt it wrong already. Fuck. I think it's spelt this way. But even with the spelling mistake, you're gonna find this shit. It's one of the fucking most legendary strains out of BC bud in the fucking history of our shit, so... Oh, that's awesome, the Hunter 762 times 39. Fuck yeah, that's super cool. Did she get it on Christmas Day? Did she get the shirt on Christmas Day? Like, was it like an actual Christmas present on the day? That's pretty cool. That's awesome, yo. What was your wife's reaction when she saw the Pot Squatch Growers Army shirt? What's my favorite nutrient? Jamie Lopez, do you mean nutrient line or brand? That's, I'm going to assume what you mean. Oh, Mike Lowry. Okay, one, you got to remember, regardless of something being autoflower or a photo period, still requires the same light. It's still fucking weed, okay? And at the end of the day, more light is more light. So if I were using a light that came with a veg and bloom option, I'm going to run both options, okay, during flower. Quintessential, because often that flower switch is not built as a standalone in the way that they're building these purple lights often. It's built as an add-on to go off the base of what the veg has done, right? So that's typically their thought on how they did a lot of those designs and kind of thought components on there, right? So run them both together. That's awesome, Michael. It makes me so happy. I thank you for the support, everybody. And one of my favorite things, everybody, when you order your shirts and your hats and stuff like that, like taking time out of your day to shoot me a picture of you wearing something or out and about or putting a sticker somewhere is probably one of my favorite things every day. So when you send that stuff in, I love it. Thanks so much. And so, never be shy about, showing that. I mean, it just makes me fucking, I get all excited. I'm like, honey, look, it's my hat in Quebec on a big case of 60 cases of Bud Light. And I'm all like, yeah. Well, Philly's Finest 215. I don't think you can go and describe it in quite the way where your terpenes are at their highest note. I know what you're talking about. Terpene profiles will shift and change in terms of age, but yes, to answer your question simply put, I've played around a lot with taking down from very, very early to very, very, very late. So yes, I have played around with that a lot. I do find that I prefer terpene profiles when you don't go too heavy in terms of the amber. I like heavy ambering at times for certain medicines, but at the same time, in terms of the taste and smell profiles, I do prefer more of a 10 to 20% ambering when it comes to a terpene nose note, full to finish, if that makes sense too. Oh, that's cool, Yo-Yo, but I don't pH, right? So I don't pH shit, man. I got my mojo working pretty good, and I know where my shit's at. So no, I don't really pH my shit. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." Yeah, I'm still winning awards though. So and I'm a Green Planet guy. I only use Green Planet nutrient systems currently because everything I try of theirs, I'm really happy with. It's also a local company, so I'm a big support of that. But it kicks the shit out of Advanced Nutrients. It kicks the shit out of anything from GH, and GH is owned by the devil, basically, now. So, Montanbo. But, Miracle Roll. Oh. But anyway, at the end of the day, I'm a Green Planet kind of motherfucker, and I've been really happy with everything I've tried from their shit. So, probably one of the things in the New Year's, I'm just gonna eventually actually call them. Like, can I carry your shit on my store? Because I like your shit. So we'll get there. That's right, Lobster Boy. Oh, 100% Jamie Lopez. The fact is your weed can be mature without having yellowing in your families. It's not unheard of. Statistically a little bit rarer, but I mean, no. So trichrome colors is the way to go. Just because you don't have yellowing happening doesn't necessarily mean it's not ready. So go with the trichromes, and hopefully you flush properly. I know there's a lot of stuff floating around now, that a lot of articles have been around for a couple of years now saying, oh, flushing is based on flawed science. And I completely understand what the article's theory is, but again, the article's based off general horticulture. It's not based off of cannabis. Go not flush your weed. Enjoy that dark fucking gross smoke. Go enjoy that. I will take a slight yield loss of flushing for my last 2 weeks and making amazing weed. Because anyone who has grown for any period of time with a bottle newt knows that we're not really trying to remove the nutrients. The nutrients per se aren't necessarily what is making that bad, gross darkness and taste. We're removing the salts from the plant. The whole premise of it is removing salt. And in general, we want to remove salt even if going organically grown. We want to remove those salts out of the final plant finish for the finished taste and smell and profile. So that's why I find a lot of these articles from horticulturists with their little university degrees just losing their shit about this. And I'm like, okay, Muffin, you're still not even thinking about it in the right way. So open up your mind. Maybe you should smoke some weed first. Maybe it's because you smoke unflushed weed you can't think properly. I don't know. Well, there you go, Yo-Yo. That's fine. I roll my water through my soul system. I gotta probably change those filters out fairly soon. But crap, I did it again. The camera's not on this phone. That's at least 4 times now. Son of a bitch. 1 second here, everybody. Sorry about that. Adjusting to new formats. But, yeah, one of the heartbreaking things I found out was I paid an exorbitant amount of money for my little RSO system, and then I found, I'm not going to lie to you, I took out a loan at a very high interest rate with a financing thing to get it, because I wanted it. Put like $700 down and found out I could have bought 2 of them for about $800 off Alibaba. The exact same model. Yes, is it a wholesaler? Yes, but I'm a company now. I could have, like, I spent $2,600 on that stupid piece of shit, and then I found out for about $800 I could have bought 2 kits and installed it myself. Like, fuck. But you live and you learn, right? So, but that's also why I know I can bring them in eventually when we have the money to buy stock and carry them on the store for everybody as a kit that you can install yourself. And I'm not going to charge you thousands of dollars on top of the initial cost, so you'll be all right. Because it's not like I bought some super fancy system. I literally bought like the basic Mark 1 little basic 4-part system with a 5th part realkalizing, pHing, blah, 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 filter. Blah, 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 blah. Stupid shit. Spent way too much money on it. I'm still paying it off at an interest rate that's basically 20 fucking %. So, oopsie poopsie. Almost paid it off twice in terms of cost with my down payment. Oh, when I learned that, I'm not gonna lie to you, everybody, Uncle Pot Squash had a little bit of a emotional moment. I spent about 20 minutes being like, "You dumb motherfucker!" I'm just watching the battery because we're still at 8%. Since we're running the show off the phone, it doesn't charge tons while it's plugged in. But at least we know our charge rate from our cable and our fast charger is at least more than the actual general consumption of the phone. As long as I smoke quickly, we'll be all right. Why not? While we're here, got the shirts there ready to go, the hats there, the Jakes is over there, and those shelves there. Those are the rolling papers there, and those white boxes are all the grinders there. So, if you'd like to check out your very own Pot Squatch Growers Army swag, the hats, the shirts, the grinders, the papers, well, go to potsquatchgrowers.com. Jake's all in one. We carry that too. And remember, everything's on sale this month until 11/59 on December 31st. 15% off. Because I don't like the tent. I don't like tents. I'm mad at this tent. It's a long story. Had a bunch of fungus gnats blow up in this tent. And I don't know, just mixed feelings. Me and this tent go back for years. I don't like this tent. I don't like the light that's in it. And so I'm just not using it at the moment. It's a love-hate thing. I'm an eccentric man. Just, go with that. But like I said, Happy Dude Grows. The coming things that we're going to be installing is upgrades. We're converting the washroom into a vegging area. That's right. We're going to be doing some really cool upgrades in there, as well as expanding the flowering space in the lab as well. So it's going into 2020. We're going to be doing some pretty cool fucking shit. And I'm pretty stoked. Really excited. And we're going to be doing perpetual grows. We're never going to have downtime anymore. I'm just going to keep it going all the time. It's going to be a little stressful, but that's okay. We'll keep it party rocking for all of you. And, let the good times roll, right? So, plus, at the same time, with all the beans that everyone keeps sending us to, unless we step up the rate at which we're kind of rotating things through, as well as doing perpetuals, I'm never going to get a chance to try all of it. So, I'm going to try to step that stuff out. Oh, don't worry, DJ Drew 24V. Most important thing for me is I won't burn out. The thing that I got to remember is eat, to be honest with you. That's my drawback. I start working in the morning, I wake up, I get caught up on things. I keep working all day, and I don't eat. That's my number one downfall. And I smoke so much pot that I don't always get even the munchies anymore. So it's like, at the end of the day, That's the only thing we need to worry about. My caloric intake. Well, than that, I keep that up. Well, exactly, DJ Drew. I'll eat pizza all day, but I do live in the woods now, and the only pizza that will deliver to me currently right now, I've decided I don't like it anymore. So I can't order that. No, I do not, Yo-Yo. I just run the company now. And then my acting shit, all that kind of crap, all that stuff. But yeah, no, I do not work a day job anymore. I'm doing this 24/7, being the Pod Squatch, as well as developing two different television shows. One which is built out of the Pod Squatch, and one which is a comedic sitcom we're trying to get picked up in Canada. Also talking new trade deals. We're launching a CBD line, hopefully down, at least in the States. If we can import it into Canada, we're going to do that. I'm right now working with the Canadian government on that one and trying to see if they'll stop being stupid. We're doing that in the States, though, for sure, or we're hopefully for sure doing that. We're working on that. We got meetings coming up at the new year about that one and furthering that. Again, we will be launching Jake's All-in-One down to the States, so that's going to be another source of income to the company that we're going to be now doing. Going forward as well, we've got a couple of other things that are hypothetical plausibilities in terms of business stuff that we're working on. Plus, we are looking to aggressively expand our line of tech in 2020 when we have the money to do so. So I'm working on that one. So trying to keep it sexy and real for all of you, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's like go big or go home, right? And it's like, I'm still paying my mortgage. I'm not homeless yet, so I'm gonna be doing this for a while now. So I'm gonna keep going and see what we can pull off. You know what I'm saying? Like, go for the gusto, baby. All right, let's go back in the lab now. Well, at the end of the day, my friend, I mean, if we get things going the way that I'm foreseeing them going, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty sure we're going to become the industry standard of cannabis lighting in the next few years. That's kind of what we're on route to do, especially with things that we're working on bringing to market and to the community. But a big part of what I'm looking forward to is, well, when we get to a place where, because I see our company becoming a multi-million-dollar company, to be honest with you. But we got a lot of differentiated projects that could, in the end, generate quite some crazy revenue streams. And if that ever gets to that point, like, we're going to do a lot of really good things in the community. Like, I'm a capitalist socialist. I'm not against making money, but I feel that I can make a bunch of money and give a bunch of it back to the community. I have no issues with that. As long as I got beer in the fridge and I'm able to scale my company and grow, then why not give back? That's part of why we started everything on YouTube in the first place. That led to the company was to teach people for free, to help people be self-sufficient, to grow their own medicine. Another way for us to help facilitate that dream, which is the start of it all, is to start making reliable professional grade tech in assorted sizes so that all levels of growers have it accessible and can learn to be self-sufficient and take care of their own medicine, right? So, I mean, that's a big part of what we do and sort of the sentiment behind it. So, fuck it, man. Plus, too, like, I love pissing off big companies. And I've been doing that for almost a year and a half now through all of this. And I won't lie to you, it makes me happy. Oh, well, thank you, Big Mac Creates. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate your kind words there, man. That's awesome. Yo-Yo, don't worry. There will always be an option on our lights currently on all plans that are, if they come to fruition of what we're working on, there will always be the initial tiered price on a model that is associated with such, okay? That's what we're working on, okay? Can't talk about it any more than that, but don't worry, baby. Yep, that's true. Michael Montgomery, everybody, has been here on YouTube watching us when we were like no one. We didn't have a lot of subscribers for a really long time. And then all of a sudden, it feels like I woke up one morning and then everyone was there, and I was just like, oh, hi. When did this happen? Well, thank you very much, Ian Sweet. We're doing what we can, right? Originally, we wanted to start an LP farm and grow wheat for the people, and then, well, that's not really our career goals anymore. We have bigger plans and bigger dreams, bigger scale of helping people, if we can pull it off. Well, thank you very much, Eddie Smokes. I won't lie. This last year on YouTube, by far, has been the weirdest one and the most intense one. I mean, in the last year is when we kind of blew up. The last year is when we went from telling Mars Hydro publicly to suck our dick to, within 2.5, 3 months of that interchange, releasing our own lighting brand even. You should have seen Mars Hydro's representatives' response when they kept reaching out and they kept offering me more money. And then I kept saying, fuck. Eventually it got down to it and I sent a video clip to China. And I was like, dear Mars Hydro, Cassie, you're a wonderful young lady. Respect to you. Oh, wait, her name wasn't Cassie. Fuck, what was her name? Nah, it doesn't matter. It was an anglicized name she made up for a white person anyway. But I was like, you're a very nice young woman. But my friends, you're full of shit. You're owned by Lenshin LLC, or whatever the fuck the name is. Second largest corporation in China. You've been lying to me. You make bullshit lights. The dinky toy pieces of crap. And you're taking advantage of people. So my friend, sincerely fuck you from Canada. I'm releasing my own lighting brand. Stop fucking emailing me, you dumb tits! Simply put, they kept emailing me, different representatives from the company. The only thing that changed every time they would email me back offering me shit was it was like a more senior official in the company. And I would just always respond back up until a point that eventually I just was like, fuck this is stupid. Like, I'm just going to block like everything from your company right now. They're just like, well, we've noticed you on YouTube here, and we would really love to send you all of our equipment to get you to... I'm like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Yeah, anyway, Mars Hydro, best of luck, I guess. I don't know. Well, that was the funny thing. I think that was something in the last year that really led to some of the explosive growth on certain things on our channel. No YouTuber basically had ever challenged a company before. Everyone was worried about getting a corporate sponsorship. Everyone wanted sponsors. People wanted free shit. I am proud to say in the over 2.5 years we've been on YouTube, we have had 0 sponsors. We have never once had a sponsor. Mars Hydro sent us their light. They weren't our sponsor. I agreed to take a look at their shit. I found it wanting. That was our conversation. That doesn't mean they're a sponsor. Piece of shit. So anyway, moving on from that. At the end of the day, we've never done that. It's never been what we're about. And we're our own company now doing our own thing. There was more points to that. Give me a second here. My brain is being a stupid brain. Oh, I know. Michael Montgomery, in the end, it got up to 15% between the discount to fans and what they were offering to pay me in commission. So I was like, I literally said to them, I was like, so you can afford to pay me money, but you're not willing to help people, basically. So it's suck a dick. But at the end of the day, I think that's what really shook us up on YouTube, is that we were the first YouTube ever to call bullshit to companies and not give a shit. Should have seen my firewall light up at the crib when we started shit talking Mars, man. IP addresses all throughout the Orient all of a sudden started trying to hit our shit. It's pretty funny. But at the end of the day, that's what we're about. You know, we're a company now. We're a small company. We don't have a lot. We're very much a startup. We're very much new. But we're not going anywhere. And as we grow, we are going to do our best to always bring the best to the people. I think as growers, one of the things that we've struggled with is we've never had like a lighting brand or a brand in general of stuff that we could implicitly trust. Well, guess what? I own a majority of the fucking company. And my personal conscience will not allow me to sell anything or do business that I don't agree with or a product I don't agree with. So, and that's never going to change, no matter how big we get. So, at the end of the day, we're growers here at Pod Squatch Growers. You're our family. You're our people. Yes, you're our customers too. But you're our family first. And we are going to do our best to help you along your journey of both knowledge, growing as a grower, and growing as a grower. Okay? And that is the number one sentiment to everything we do. We want to watch the garden of the community blossom. We want to watch everyone grow and have a beautiful time and enjoy themselves and be healthy and happy. Fuck, get a little drunk, get a little high, and piss off some big companies while we do it, right? Oh, that sounds like a good life to me. I could die happy with that. Oh, it was funny though. I won't lie to you. The one thing I will say to Mars is a big thank you. If you weren't such corporate shitheads, I probably wouldn't have put the gas under my ass to fucking actually do what we're doing now. So, in a sense, Mars Hydro's response to us was a big thing, and I'll say thank you to them for it. Thanks for being dickheads, because it made me say, well, fuck you, I'm going to be an asshole then. I'm going to beat everything you do in every way. So much so that I'm taking on your main competition, HLG, fuck that, Fluent, Spider Farmer, all that. Guess what? Squatch Lights is coming. We're not going anywhere. Hi. Sorry, I'm just being silly now and having fun. Oh, well, thank you, Joe King. I mean, you know what? I mean, when we started the YouTube, too, I was like, I'm just going to be real. I don't know how to make a YouTube. I don't know the rules of social media. I don't know anything. So I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to share kind of my views on weed and growing weed and trying to help people. And I don't give a shit. We'll see what happens. And that's basically how everything we do started. It started with me getting drunk, getting mad at the internet and all the misinformation that's on the internet for young growers. Like, I think about when I was a young grower trying to teach myself how to grow, and there was so much misinformation back then, let alone now. Holy shit. So, I didn't know if anyone would tune in. I didn't know if anyone would give a shit. And I started it, though, with the intent, though, that even if no one ever subscribed, I'm going to release this content on the internet, because maybe one day, even if no one watches it, it'll help a grower somewhere. That was kind of the thought of it. And also just a big fuck you to the corporate bullshit and everybody, and just like, you know what, I'm going to tell everyone how to do everything in my opinion, and, you know. I actually got some threatening emails when we were about 7,000 to 10,000 subs from big companies. Stop revealing industry trade secrets. I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm not really revealing shit. I'm revealing what I've learned through trial and error, and it's not like I'm revealing magical tricks that I figured out. It's just making information accessible in a singular location. So, respectfully, go fuck yourself. Bring it on, big boy. I live in BC. Come find me. Hi. You know, those were the early midway days of growth in the last year. That doesn't happen anymore. But I think a lot of people don't like us that are the big man-ish companies. You know? But whatever. That's part of what makes me happy, man. I'm a shit disturber, so. And, you know, I've always been a big fan of the underdog, so. Fuck it. Stand with the people. We are the people. I came from you. I'm part of the community. I don't want to be anything special or anything. I just want to be myself and do what's important to me and help all of you. And to be fair, piss off the big guys. Right? So let the good times roll. Oh, I know. I mean, Yo-Yo, that's probably one of my number one issues with YouTube often and YouTube channels. Uh, Recently, I'm not going to name any names out of the fact that it's just petty to begin with. But, like, I watch these smaller channels, you know, that are existing now. Started out as good people that I like, but then I watch them in other channels all descend into this pissing contest and prick waving of stupidity. They're all males. Let's be honest. It's not. There's no female growers that are doing stupid things like this. It's all a stupid male thing. And the second prick waving, or I'm better than you, or this, or fuck your channel, my channel's better than yours. It's one of the most disheartening things I've ever seen. Watching these people who claim to have been inspired by me and what we do and start to be on YouTube, then engage in these things, is like a spit in my face, personally. Because it goes against the essence of the community. It goes against what weed is. It goes against what we're doing here. So grow the fuck up. We're not 6-year-olds on the fucking playground. If you're that insecure of a fucking prick, get the fuck out of the game. You can't keep up. The game has no use for ego. The game has no use for prick waving and competition. That's why I refuse to compete as a grower. I'll go to a cannabis cup, for example, and I'll compete that. That's okay. But there's a lot of grow-offs that happen all over the internet, have for years, and I've always refused because I feel like that goes against the very sentiment foundation of what this community is. So, yeah, I have no need to. I didn't do this to build my own ego. Fuck, I'm an egotistical asshole enough. I wanted to help. You know, I think that's partly why at first I started thinking I really need to reach out to YouTube more. I need to participate maybe with other channels. But then I saw what a lot of the community is now. And I said, fuck it, I think I'm just going to keep doing my own thing. Build my own community. No thanks. Because this is all petty and stupid. And as a grower, I'll admit, like, I come from BC, I'm a BC grower. I'm a BC grower, I'll go toe-to-toe with any fucking grower in this province, and I'll fucking hold my own. I'm not saying I'll win, but I'll hold my own. That's not ego. That's called confidence. But I'm a grower who dislikes a lot of the growers where I'm from. Everyone's very egotistic. Everyone's a complete shitbrick asshole. And they're condescending, as one of you put it, holier than thou outlook, kind of, right? And I'm sorry, that goes against the very sentiment of what the grow community is to me, or what I see it as, and also humanity in general. Like, fuck that shit. If you're that insecure, fuck off. Like, love, compassion, understanding, and sharing. That's the way to go. You know? Leave your ego at home. You know, because you can't learn if you're worried about these types of things. You can't have fun if you're worried about these types of things. A little friendly competition, there's nothing wrong with that. What we're talking, that's a completely different thing, right? So anyway, I've had a long-winded asshole talk here. I personally, I've talked to Cannabeard a few times, and I feel the times we've talked, I really enjoyed talking to him. I haven't watched a lot of the show. I don't know if he's currently engaging in some of the stuff I've referenced. I'm aware of a few people who are. I have been tuning out of it a lot. Where I was just starting to tune into other stuff a bit, I started tuning out pretty quickly too, because it just was pretty horrific what I was seeing in terms of what I saw, and I was like, this is just not what my brand's about. It's not what my channel's about. It's not what our community is about, as far as my 2 cents are concerned. So Pot Squatch out. But I very much appreciated speaking with Cannabeard. I can't speak to whether or not he's been involved in stuff. The shows I have tuned in, I didn't see anything like that, and I did enjoy talking to him personally recently when we first actually had our first conversation. So he seems like a really chill, down-to-earth dude. Personally, in my opinion, he seems like a really cool dude. But that's what I can speak to. So yeah. Well, exactly, Susie Sherlock. And I mean, at the end of the day, life's too short to worry about such petty kind of crap like that, in my opinion. I used to be a bit of a bullish asshole when I was younger and be a bit of a dick as a grower. Like, I'll be the first to admit it. I'll tell you right now. Uncle Pod Squatch, when he was a young grower, I've always been very gifted at what I've done. I've always been able to be the guy who won. I was always the guy who was better. And I will admit, as much as it pains my heart to admit it, young me was a bit of a cocky shit. I was a bit of a dickhead. But, I learned and I grew as a grower. And I think that's why I have such a great disdain for it now. Because I have walked the other path of competitive growing in that way, and it's just so the polar opposite of what all this is about, man. Fuck. Oh, fuck me, Jesus. Oh, crap. Oh, wait, that's not the camera. This is the camera. We're going to go on a mission to get some beer here. Or not beer, a cigar. 1 second here. Oh, friendly competition's all right, Big Mac Creates, but I think all of this has gone vastly past that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no worries, Joe King. I will do my best. Excuse me, burping. Much love, and thank you for tuning in. Oh, it's going well, Doogie 420. Yes, it's going well. 1 second here, everybody. Well, that's where we click. All right. So, just going to grab another cigar here. Maybe going to say hello to my wife. Grab some weed, roll a joint as well. Let's say here, everybody. How you doing, baby? Cool. I'm doing well. You cool just doing you? Cool then? Cool. Awesome. Cool. We're just talking about the ecumenical, ethic, moral crisis going on in YouTube growing communities and stuff. Stop waving your prick. Just jerk off, you dumbasses. I didn't come here for beer. I came here to get a cigar. And weed. I don't smoke pot at all! All right, here's my rolling tray. There's the rolling tray. I need a grinder. There's a grinder. That's right. You want a Pot Squatch Growers grinder? That's right. Right here. Get yours on PotSquatchGrowers.com. Sorry, everyone. We'll be back in the lab in a moment. Oop, shit. There we go. So at the end of the day, if you don't got anything nice to say, don't go be a fucking dickhead, okay? In terms of this, what am I partaking of? Well, Doogie, we've got some of Violator Kush here, so we're going to be smoking on some of that beautiful Violator love, you know what I'm saying? But all right, let's get back to, if you don't have anything... actually, Nicole, if you look very closely on the replay, I did have a momentary lapse. It's just getting less now, but I did almost didn't grab the phone this time too. But at the end of the day, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't be a dickhead. There's a lot of arrogant assholes in our community. And, I think my number one issue with it, other than the prick waving and the stupidity, is how mean some growers are to new growers. And I'm just sitting here going like, you fucking dick. I think probably the one time I go out of my way to be competitive, and that I have maybe been an asshole now as an older grower now, is when I see people being bullies or being a dick to new growers. I'm like, okay, Buttercup. I'm a nice person. I normally don't do these things, but if you're gonna be a dick, well, let's guess what? Here comes my encyclopedia. Let's dance, you fucking dipshit. So, stand up for people. Don't be mean. Be compassionate. If you see someone being a dick to a new grower who's just asking questions and they're curious and they're scared and they're nervous, think of all the times we were nervous as new growers. Trying to learn something and caring so much about our plant, we don't understand things. Like, you don't know something until you know it. So stop being a dick to people, So stand up. Stand up and shout. Don't allow bullying in the cannabis community. It's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Oh, hell yeah, Tommy Skinner. I just think a big part of the community has become so aggressive and mean. It's bullshit, you know? I totally forgot a cigar. I didn't even get one. Dumbass. Yeah, you gotta be careful with those brownies, man. Sometimes they get pretty potent, you know what I'm saying? Well, exactly, Dookie420. And the fact is the true grower is a forever student. Any grower who would use the word master in association with themselves and their knowledge base is a fucking idiot. As far as I'm concerned, has completely lost the right and the ability to be a true grower because there is no mastery of anything. There's just furthering knowledge and further growth of the plant, you know? And I say plant as in more so yourself, the growth of the plant, which is yourself and your knowledge base and your approach to growing. Right? So, you know, right? I don't know. That's right. Well, I am the son of two priests, not Baptist priests or gospel priests, Anglican priests. But my mom and my dad are preachers, so who knows? Maybe. That's right. The weed leaf shape, not the cross, but the weed leaf shape. Oh, yes. There you go, KJ Groves. These are some of the new little baby coming out right now. There's some of the Pilgor Bubble Kush right there going on. The five around the exterior over there are some of the Gorilla Blue from my friend Steven down the States. These two beauties here and the weird wonky fucked one that's right here are the Bubba Cherry Firefly. And this is the Northern Lights that we're slowly bringing back. We're going to make her into a mother plant once we get her happy and healthy. Oh, fuck yeah, Wolf Squatch. Where in BC you at? I'm out in the Fraser Valley. Well, exactly, Srel. Exactly. You know, and that's where a lot of the ego shit pisses me off. People need to just approach it differently. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing something, mistakes happen. And that's part of the game. It's like life. You know, you have good days and you have bad days. No matter how old you get or how long you're used to living, you get it there. Oh, you're in Chilliwack. That's not that far from me, buddy. "45 minutes to an hour, maybe." Yes, the true kind of Northern Lights and shit that are about, as it were, are pretty donkulous ladies and quite powerful. Very special genetic for sure, to say the least. 1 second here. It's funny, I totally forgot a cigar. Didn't even get one. There we go. Really smartest, I don't like the stove. The fact is, given the fact that it's an actual proper heavy-duty cast iron wood burner in the lab, I'm very nervous about controlling that and shielding the plants without building a big metal thermal shield basically around it. So I don't have direct heat influx to the room. It can channel up into the room. That's fine. It makes me nervous. Plus, I don't like the idea of the smoky smell in there augmenting the taste of my cannabis. So I've never not turned it on, but I've never fired her up, as it were. So, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, not going to use that one in there. I would like to move that one out into the living room and remove the propane burner that we have and put a proper fireplace in there. Plus, getting that fucker out of my lab would give me a lot more floor space to play around with, and I have no need for it in there, but I would like to install that one in the living room. That would be kind of my dream thing. Fuck! I forgot my cigar in the washroom. Dumbass. Love you, baby! We'll take it, everybody. All right, I'm back. There we go. Yeah, I know. It's funny because when we used to do a lot of the live streams where I was just holding the phone, not even anything, or we didn't do the show things. I mean, streaming during the live stream, through, the saying was, it's not a live stream until Potsquatch live streams. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag boom. Well, you know, there's a reason why we get along, Doogie 420, you know what I'm saying? No worries, baby sister JJB420JJB. But to be honest with you, I don't recognize your name. Did I answer your question, or did I miss it, or did someone else help you? I'm sorry if I missed your question, by the way. I'm a total dumbass, and sometimes I miss things. No, well, one, I'm in the lab, so that helps to keep the puppy sounds away, and two, their mom's here, so, like, mommy's hanging out with them, and they're much happier when they're hanging out with mommy, so. What? Oh, about the RSO oil. Oh, yeah, no worries, baby sister JJB420JJB. Happy to help, man, you know. Oh, sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's you know, making a good RSO it's basically it's we call it RSO because Rick Simpson found an application. He didn't invent it. All it is simple, basic, old school hash oil from back in the day. And at the end of the day, it is one of the most amazing basic extracts, especially in terms of medical applications out there. So everyone deserves to know how to make a good RSO and to just really get her done, make her sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like. No worries, KJ Groves. Happy to help. The fuck's my lighter? Well, I guess we're using the torch then. No, actually, Yo-Yo, Phoenix Tears isn't... a name for RSO. Phoenix Tears makes reference to the first ever RSO made directly out of hemp that only has CBD in it and meets the hemp requirements of a high CBD with no THC. So actually, in terms of my understanding of histories and products, and I was alive when this one came about, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable on this one. Phoenix Tears is not RSO. It is an RSO, but Phoenix Tears makes reference to a straight CBD RSO made out of a hemp source or a CBD source with no THC in it. So, for example, when the first Phoenix Tears that were released onto the market, it was an early straight CBD RSO, is what it was. So, yeah. Sounds sexy, Wolf Squatch. Violator Kush is the marijuana we're smoking. Love Death Bubba, love the Northern Lights. Don't know LSD very well. Gorilla Glue, depending on the pheno I like. Not a big fan of distillate just because it's had too many of the wonderful terpenes and secondary cannabinoids stripped from that shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Zach Baker, don't worry, my friend. We got the little babies in there. We'll show you in a second. I'm just, puffing on the cigar in the office here. Can't smoke around the weed titty plants because tobacco mosaic virus, right? You know what I'm saying? Mad Dog, I developed one of the most dangerous CBD strains in the world already. I spent 2 years, or a little over 2 years doing it. It's called Sasquatch. It was shown earlier on the channel. It's 22% CBD, 16 to 18% THC. It's a blending of all three species. Traditional photo. And she is beautiful. Sadly, we lost the phenotype of the mother plant. Long story on that one. But we still have enough genetics to hopefully at least bring it back in a feminized version for everybody. No, I do not grow sour diesel. Typically, Phillies 5215. I have consulted a lot of growers doing diesel, or NYC sour diesel. It's too sativa-y for me personally, so I wouldn't grow it for my own self, but I have worked with it or helped people with the grow. So if you have a question on it, I'm happy to answer that, but it's not for me personally. Oh, I know. Sorrel, the Gorilla Glue is a resinous weed titty. Oh, we will, Texas Pete. Don't worry. That's why I haven't used any of the beans that we have left of that experiment I worked for years on. I've got just enough left to maybe bring back a feminized version when we're legally allowed to do that. So, well, exactly, Yo-Yo. So Phoenix Tears is just making reference to a CBD-based RSO, basically, if you think about it that way. But it doesn't mean RSO. An RSO is just a newer term. When Rick Simpson found an application for the oil, he did not invent it. Oh, dude, the Sasquatch strain was something special. She was only 16 to 18% THC, but she fucked a motherfucker up stronger than any other weed. I shared some with a bunch of different types of friends, different types of smokers. And the number one feedback I had from everyone was, nothing has ever spoke to me the way this weed did. What the fuck is this? And I said, well, that's fucking Sasquatch, baby. And it was a blending of AC/DC, Master Kush, and Trainwreck that we utilized in the process of creating and stabilizing that one out. AC/DC being where we got the wonderful CBD capacities on that shit, you know what I'm saying? Phoenix Tears being a tincture. Well, a tincture means technically anything that is something that is a orally dissolvable liquidish thing. So one could argue a syringe of RSO is technically an orally based tincture. It's sublingual absorption using the soft tissues of your mouth, right? Oh wait, I'm gonna switch this around because I don't like these angles. There we go. And we're gonna pick up the phone here now and read things. There we go. All right. Zach Baker, have you ever smoked Fifth Element? I do not believe I have, my friend. What is that one? What is this genetic lineage as the law goes? Happy Dude Grows. I smoke pom poms. They're a standard basic pom pom. They call them the Legacy series now. That just means they're the original cigars. I've been smoking them since I was a kid. Quit cigarettes about 2 months ago. Never smoked one of those again. So I'm Uncle Bucking it, as I like to put it. I have 3 to 6 cigars typically a day. Don't smoke it all at once. I smoke it throughout the time, and eventually going to try to cut that down a little bit. I'll always have the cigar or a pipe here and there because I like tobacco, but cigarettes are a different beast. So, what's good, Frankie Boy 86? How you doing, baby? Well, DJ Drew 24V, I mean, it still exists genetically, hopefully, enough that I can bring back a feminized version of something. I don't know if I'll ever find the Dark Mama Fino again. She was my favorite. The Dark Mama Fino was special. Caden Crooks tried that. Ask Caden Crooks. District Records. If you ever meet him in one of the live streams, ask him about time he tried that Dark Mama Fino. Crazy. Well, exactly, Sherelle, how? Sublingual absorption. Any form of cannabis that you put on the soft tissues of your mouth will eventually absorb through, especially helped along through the digestive enzymes in your spit. Well, exactly, and I like the taste of tobacco, right? I like cigars. I like pipes as well. So, at the end of the day, the main issue for me was the fact that cigarettes are built in such a way that I was smoking a shitload of the fuckers. I was smoking about 20, 30 cigs a day was what I was smashing in my stupid face. Like, a lot of my friends who have hung out with me since I quit smoking cigarettes, they want to switch to just doing cigars. We're like, holy fuck, like it's weird, but I actually get to hang out with you now, like if we go to a bar, because out at a bar, like, unless I sat out with you while you smoked in the patio, like, I would get very little actual time hanging out with you. So that was kind of cool, having people respond that way. going like, dude, like it's like, you know, it's very noticeable. And be like, oh fuck, where are the cigarettes? Because I didn't really tell anyone I quit smoking cigarettes. I just kind of puffing a cigar a little bit here and there. And people are like, yo, wait a minute, I just noticed that. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh yeah, this. Because, and the fact is when I was smoking cigarettes, I'm so addicted to those fucking things. Like, yeah, like I was a right crappy curmudgeon. Like, I definitely, like, there's times where I get stressed in the day and I can't have a puff on a cigar. I'm like, fuck, you know, like, I love to fucking puff on my stogie, right? But it's not the same thing with cigarettes. You know, back in the day, like when you're a cigarette smoker, you get cigarette dreams and all of that. And fuck, like I would wake up in the middle of the night. I still do this occasionally, but it's because I don't really sleep very well. And I'll go that. But there was like before I switched off the cigarettes, I would wake up craving cigarettes. Like I have to go smoke a cigarette. Sometimes in the middle of the night I might have a puff on a cigar still, but it's because I can't sleep and I have insomnia in certain ways, or I've never slept well, right? So it's just part of being me. But it's a different thing now. Like I don't wake up going like I need to smoke, where before I did, you know. So that's a big thing, I think. I don't like filters in my cigars. I like them, keep them real, keep them straight. But yeah, no, I feel you. I like my pom-poms. Oh, Cohibas are wonderful too. They're just a bit expensive for me to smoke as my day-to-day currently. And pom-poms are good, inexpensive. Well, they're not inexpensive. Because I buy boxes of them from the cigar store and order them offline now. What do I pay? A little over $100 Canadian for 50. So each cigar I light is about $2 something. You know, but it's cheaper than paying like $3 something that I would if I buy them at the stores. So I'm not really necessarily saving a bunch of money right now, but saving a little bit. But I'm definitely being a lot healthier in terms of my body. And I'd like to get that number down so that I am saving money more. But, you know, baby steps and being honest with yourself. That's how you reduce when trying to get off addictive things like cigarettes especially. Sorry everybody, just rolling my little joint. Yes, Joe King, it is throughout the entire country. It is now 21 to buy cigarettes. In Canada, most provinces it's 19. In some provinces it's still 18. And the drinking age in Canada is 19 as well. And then it's 18 in some provinces. Still haven't found that lighter, I guess. I've lost the torch too. I know I'm leaving the camera. I'm just trying to find fire. All right. Right? That's what I thought, Yo-Yo. I thought the new I thought it was a federal, nationwide thing. Zach Baker, what's my favorite soil? Well, in terms of a pre-mixed bag soil that I'm going to go to and trust, or a product line or a company, it's ProMix. I'm a big fan of ProMix. So I'm a ProMix kind of asshole. A lot of people be like, oh, well, that's not soil. Down in the States, there's a lot of ProMixes that don't meet the requirements of soil. It is true. But in Canada, the ProMixes that we have, most of them and the ones we use, meet the definition of soil and are soils. So, yes, but I'm a ProMix kind of guy. That's what I like. What's up, Isaac Kendrick, baby? How you doing, my friend? Doogie 420 for cigarettes. For cigarettes, it's basically going to cost you, for budget smokes, 11 to 13 bucks, and for premiums, 13 to 16.50. Some imports might be as much as $17 or $18 now. Isaac Kendrick, personally at the moment I don't reuse soil. I've been transporting it outside, composting it. I have a failing retaining wall in my one vegetable garden. I'm going to have to cut out a bunch of shrubs probably to fucking fix the fucker, sadly, and kill these amazing shrubs on my property. But I need backfill to fill that back up once I build a proper retaining wall. So right now I'm saving it for that. So typically, no, I don't. Sunshine, number 4, it's all really hot. I don't like that. I'm a Pro Mix guy. I like my Pro Mix. Yo, typically the smokes I smoked, when did I smoke? Fuck. It's been so long. I normally smoked Next Blue, typically, and buying it at the store would be like $13 to $15, depending where I bought them. I could buy a carton of Next Blue. I think it was about $120 or $130 maybe. Happy Dude grows. If I've got a friend who will let me do it, there's a lot of neighbors around where I live, even though we live in the woods, funnily enough. And I don't feel comfortable doing it on my property. Plus, my medical license technically is only for indoors. I've always kept it that way. And even though I have a legal right for recreational plants in Canada to the property outdoors, I wouldn't do it on mine. So, I mean, if I had a friend out here, which I'm sure I did if I thought about it, so maybe we do an outdoor. But I'm not a big outdoor guy. I'm an indoor grower. That's kind of my thing, always has been. But just for the fuck of it, right? Like show everybody pot squash fucking around with some outdoor weed titties. And maybe we'll do that this year. I'll look into it. I'll see if there's a way we could do that for you. Nice, Isaac Kendrick. How's it going? Well, I feel you, yo. You know, on my box of cigars, I get 50 cigars. I order them at Ontario. I'm trying to remember what I paid for them. 100-something bucks for a box of them. Nice, Tommy Skinner. So you have a plant license for 25 plants. I have a 10-gram a day prescription myself, which gives me 49 plants under the medical system in Canada. Well, you know, it's funny. Where I live, there's a lot of old people. There's some young people here, too. And as time goes by, we've been living here about a year and a half now. Holy crap, I made fast work of that six-pack. This is the second last one in there. Fuck, feels like I just grabbed it. Anyway. As last year and a half's gone on, I think there's more and more younger people moving into the area where I live. But, like, predominantly where I live, it's like a bunch of old people. I'm probably like the loudest, weirdest thing in the area that I live. But, I mean, I'm always happy to help my neighbors and shit. I think the old people at first were a little scared of me. Especially like, because, you know, if I shave my head, I'm like, you know, not a small dude. Big beard, scary. Didn't have the beard when we first moved in, but I was still me, you know, and I don't know. But I think people are starting to warm up a bit to me. A little bit. My wife talks to people more than I do. I smile and wave, but I don't really talk to people unless they come talk to me. I don't go out of my way to talk to people. My wife definitely talks to people in the neighborhood more than I do, but yeah. Sorry, everybody, I'm just catching up here. Blue Moon's not a bad beer. I drink Bud Light now predominantly because there's no calories, or there's a lot less calories, I mean, and no gluten is what I meant to say. I already eat a lot of carbs not drinking beer, and the amount of beer I do drink, especially that. Plus, to be honest with you, even though it costs more to drink Bud Light because I have an impeccable resistance to liquor, I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible and not a dumbass and run the company well. So I do enjoy having beers throughout the day. Drinking Bud Light's more conducive to me being responsible, not being an idiot. So, and anytime I need to a little extra lick, I've got my whiskey. So. Sorry, everybody. I'm just playing catch up here. Thank you, Organic Grower Man. I mean, I like karaoke. There's a number of songs I do fairly well. That one being one of them. I grew up with Afro Man, so that shit. Another one of the songs I like to do in karaoke is "I'm an Asshole" by Dennis Leary. I like to do a lot of Jethro Tull and Joe Cocker as well. Yes, Tommy Skinner. I have had my medical licenses under both medical systems. So I have had my license originally back in the hood days under the MMARP. It is now the ACMPR, and I've had that for years. So back in the day, it took up to 10 weeks. A lot of that is based off older time. I've waited as much as 3+ months till my license actually showed up. However, when your license eventually shows up, typically this is less relevant now because they're supposedly a little bit quicker. I've bitched at them a bunch about this. So now they try to shoot to have your license out in 2 to 4 weeks. But I've waited over 3 months for my license, then would eventually show up. The license had been predated for months. So not only did I have to renew faster, I was actually legally okay regardless of having the license there in one sense. Some legally would argue that you have to have the license presence there. However, there's a constitutional arguing that if an issued license from a federal government exists, whether the actual license itself is on the facility, especially when it comes to a constitutional medical requirement, right to medicine, right to health, then how could you do that? So you argue that way legally back in terms of that. Sorry, everybody, I'm playing catch up here now. I'll be down the red line. Well, Chris Matos, I would totally do a live stream of karaoke if people are into it. If people are okay with that. Some people get pissy when we do shit like that because it's not weed or straight weed. At the end of the day, that's their loss. Because we're here as a community where a lot of knowledge is shared, a lot of weed stuff happens, but at the same time, you gotta learn as a grower. Part of learning is learning to grow yourself and be healthy yourself as well to be a better grower. And I think that's part of why sometimes I share random weird shit, because you have to do that as well as a grower to be healthy. So in a sense, it is important to do that because it is part of learning to be a better grower. What's up, Montreal? Says, Big Mac creates says, shout out to Montreal. So shout out to Montreal! What's up, my friend? That is more of France, so don't feel bad. Montreal, bonjour, ouais, how's it going? I am pretending to be Don Qatar at the moment, but sorry, French Canada is just, I grew up with John Chrétien as a kid, and man, like, I love the motherfucker, and he was just fun to imitate when he spoke. Lewis 300. In terms of ultraviolet or infrared add-ons, they were only really required for purple-based technology grow lights because Blurple-based grow lights that have existed have been predominantly based off of science done by NASA from decades ago, designed to grow algae in space. Okay, so at the end of the day, back when we were lacking intensity and proper Kelvin spectrums, lights, we had to add on these add-ons to try to make up for it. But now that proper lighting tech exists, like the Squatch lighting systems, Pot Squatch growers lighting systems, right? This is proper cranking professional grade tech. So these add-ons aren't required anymore. They were required in old school Mark I setups because they were based on flawed science that was designed to grow algae in space. So, you know. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. Do I watch Lex Blazer? No, I don't know who that is. Is that a YouTube or is that a TV show? I don't know. I'm very busy, so I don't watch a lot of shit on YouTube, to be honest with you. I'm kind of working a lot of the time. What's up, Montreal? I've actually never been to Montreal, to be fair. I'd love to go to Montreal one day and visit that part of Canada. I mean, the pictures I've seen of Montreal and Quebec in general and all the old buildings, it's one of the oldest parts of Canada. It's so beautiful. I'd love to visit it and check it out one day. So maybe I'll have to come over and visit. Who wants to have a beer? Who in Montreal wants to have a beer when I come down? Let me know. You could rock that, Morris. 5,500 Kelvin color, though. That's going to be about off daylight by about 500 Kelvin. And I'm a big believer, and science is proving that the magical #1 Kelvin color, really, for both max quantity production as well as quality, is the 3,500 Kelvin color. Oh, there we go. Nice burp. Get it in there. Another one there, too. All right, so Morris, Petula, you're down in the Montreal, yes? The city of Montreal. Where are we going to go drinking? How have I been growing my beard? I let it grow. I don't fuck with it. I let it grow. Brush it. Sorry. Hit a little tobacco. Some people like, well, why don't you get tips on that shit? Fuck tips. Can't drive properly. Hey, thank you very much, Joe King. You have a wonderful day or night or midday, wherever you're at, whatever the time sequence is. Thank you for chilling out and having a few beers and hanging out. It's very much appreciated. And, welcome to the community, my friend, if you're new. Oh, totally, Morris Petula. And I'm not saying you can't have results with 55, but you'll have results with anything that are decent to a point. Okay, but the magical number, that magical spot that we found for cannabis is 3,500 Kelvin, regardless of strain. Well, I feel you, yo. Well, you have a beautiful night, a beautiful day, whatever you have, man. Keep it real. I do not put Jake's all-in-one in my beard. That's bullshit. If there's anything that goes in my beard that actually is a thing, 1, cigar smoke. 2, weed smoke. But the #1 ingredient would probably be beer, and the #2 ingredient would be pussy juice. Let's be honest, okay? But I do use a beard oil these days. I didn't use it ever in my whole life. Didn't use it up until a couple months ago when I received my first beard oil as a present from Dottie's sister. And then I received my second beard oil when we were at the Cannabis Olympics from the Dab skincare team, and I love that beard oil. I bought a bunch for my dad for Christmas. He's got a big giant beard that goes to here. And then I received another beard oil for Christmas from Miss Spotsquatch's sister and dad, and it's a nice one too. So I use a bit of a beard oil now and then. I did receive a beard shampoo for the first time ever. I used it this morning for the first time. I will say that I did notice that when I brushed my beard out after the shower and dried it out, and then and then did a brush, there was a lot less breakage on my beard. So I'm curious to check that out. You know what I'm saying? Oh well, thank you, Wi-Fi Romeo. The funny thing is I don't even view that I do impressions. I do characters and voices. I never know it's going to come out. I have no plan. I literally freestyle everything we do here on this channel. And the fact is just kind of me, but they're all me. But I definitely had influences on things. And there are similarities. I mean, it's like some people hear one thing, some people hear another thing. And I mean, I just find it interesting. People hear what they will. Bistro Jojo Blues. I like it, Morris Petula. Oh, I feel you, Nicole Lendeman. And one of the good things that I did to try to step up my approach of getting better in terms of the website stuff is I do have a friend who's a brilliant god, it turns out, of also this kind of crap. He's very busy. I can't get him to help me do anything per se, but what I am getting him to do is to evaluate the current tied-in backend of Shopify as a platform to create the website and what we're able to do with that. And he's looking at the backend tie-in. So far, it's proving that there seems to be they kind of went the cheap way on the coding, so you don't actually have a full access to the back end. But he's checking it out. They may have made it weird. He's working on that. So I'm assessing right now the validity of currently staying with the Shopify platform. And at the end of the day, I may just drop that. We may move on and code our own website, but we'll work on from there. Tommy Skinner, I am a lighting brand and a lighting company, so obviously I'm going to say it would be a waste of money. We are the most affordable professional grade grow lights on the market. Hands down, no questions asked. So I would say waste of money, and you should check out our grow lights. No, more spatula, the higher the Kelvin, not the better. Old, outdated methodologies. We've really expanded our ideas in terms of Kelvin coloring when it comes to grow lights now. So it is proven now. We're starting to really get a lot of good numbers and research back from a lot of different individuals. That's why literally my rigs that I run from our lighting brand, boom, these are 3,500 Kelvin color. Highest yield, highest quality, 3,500 Kelvin color is the way to go, baby. Sorry, Thrill Hal, I personally just have to disagree in that I think what it does in terms of adding the effect for triking out, I personally don't feel that it does enough for me to call it a thing that is required. But that's just my personal take on it because I fucked around with them both a lot over the years before we released lights, before we did anything. So I don't personally think it is as big of a thing. It strikes me as more of a novelty in my personal experience, but that's just my personal feeling. Hell yeah, White 5 Romeo. Robin Williams is one of my number one influences and my favorite guy, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Frankie Boy, you could definitely get them in the UK. We've had lights go out to all over the world. We've got lights in the UK, we've got lights in Ireland and Scotland and Australia and New Zealand. I even think we've sent some stuff out to South Africa. Sorry, everybody, I'm playing catch up now. But here, we're going to switch this around. Plug the camera back in and switch to using the other phone. There we go. Yes, we ship to Nova Scotia. There's lights that have gone out to Prince Edward Island, my friend. We ship all over the world. Pretty much, we don't think for the most part there's many countries we can't ship to in terms of our lighting tech. So, Tommy Skinner for a 4x4. If you want to go big or go home and crank it out pod squatch style, put a double squatch in there. If you want to go on the more moderate side of doing it, just put a big squatch in there. You'll be good. So the stupid fun Canadian idiot way, double squatch. Want to be a little bit less power and more pragmatic in terms of budget of equipment and space and this or that? Do a big squatch. Oh, it's true. Isaac Kendrick, they burn out. They're not required anymore. With proper utilized chips and actual chips that are fully actually getting into that 3500 happy place these days. The requirement of secondary add-ons, in my humble 2 cents, are null and void anymore. They come out of a predated time, in my opinion. And with the way we're doing things now, the way tech's coming out, what we have access to, when properly utilized, it's not a requirement anymore. Tasty. Isaac Kendrick, 4 beers down, going for 5. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. I think I left a can somewhere. Well, I had beers before the show. These are beers from the show. KJ grows, to my personal knowledge and understanding of plants, even if such a wavelength of light existed to accelerate, I would say it's not that fast, it's not required, it's a bell and whistle that's stupid. Turn the fucking lights out, make it proper fucking dark. It's all that you need to do. And an indoor growing, just go to 12-12. You don't need to gradually do shit or do 24-48 dark 4 flip. It's stupid, it's all bullshit. Just fucking put it in proper dark. Go to 12-12. We don't need to reinvent that part of it, in my personal 2 cents. Yeah. Morris Pachula, the reason why I don't drink PBR now is because it has a lot of carbs in it. Bud and Bud Light is made out of rice, so it's less carbs. I am making a health decision. I was drinking Budweiser, but it didn't taste right. PBR didn't taste right. Drink Bud Light now because 1, it tastes alright-ish, and it's got no real carbs in it. Made out of rice, and 4%. As much as, even though I'm spending a little bit more money in terms of drinking in general now because it's a weaker beer, it's more conducive to me actually being healthy and living and getting my shit done. So there's a lot of factors to that one, I guess. No, PBR did. It started tasting fucked. Before I quit carbs, I was drinking other beers. I didn't care about that. That we quit PBR before we decided to cut out beer carbs. I mean, I eat a lot of fucking bread and pasta still. It's part of why I did that. Because, well, I was consuming stupid amounts of carbs and shit. So, PBR we quit though because it started tasting wrong. Something wrong about it. Wasn't good. Just tasted wrong. Didn't like it. Tasted off. And gross. If I had any Hawaiian beers. I don't think I've ever had Hawaiian beers. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I went to Hawaii once in high school, but I was 15 for track and field kind of thing. Smoked some weed when I was there, though. That was cool, but I didn't drink. Well, I drank a 40 on the beach that I got from the variety store. But I mean, like for the most part, yeah, like I was a kid when I was there, so. Nice. Frankie Boy, when rocking a 24 on an auto, my only suggestion would be once a week, give it a nice big long 12 hours of darkness once a week. Just give it a 1 week taste for that 12. Just every week to let its week's progress get a bit of a rest in there. I think you'll be happy with just a little bit of those little breathers every week in there. That'll help in terms of how to temper the final finish of your cannabinoids and terpenes, you know what I'm saying? Canadian Club 12 year. You know, these days, I'm a big Alberta Premium guy. I think Alberta Premium tastes amazing. Crown Royal's too sweet. CC doesn't taste good anymore. A lot of shit's a little weird to me now in terms of Canadian whiskeys. I got a big bottle of Alberta Premium in my house usually. That's morning coffee and stuff, right? And but I like the taste of Alberta Premium. I have fucked around in the past with autos. I'm not an auto guy, Morris, though. Oh, dude, like, I had a good time when I was down there, Isaac Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a funny story because I keep doing this because, like, I just keep popping back, have a couple puffs on the cigar, this, that. This is drinking me, though. Just having fun. One of the coolest things that I experienced down there was learning sort of the people and the culture, right? So when I got there, we found out that there was no high school equivalency, shall we say. I was 15 of my event. I was a shot putter, and I did a couple sprinting things. But so we went down there, and I had to compete against a bunch of university dudes. That's what they had for me to compete in. So. Placed fourth, to be fair, so I did all right. But I had a good time, and getting to know some of these big, giant Samoan dudes was amazing. Oh, I'm a big bourbon dude, too. I love a good bourbon. I mean, I'm Canadian, so I love a Canadian rye whiskey. It's my daily go-to, but I like good bourbon. Maker's Mark is a great bourbon for me. I'm a big fan of that one. And I love Bullet Bourbon. Bullet Bourbon is a nice working man's whiskey. Or working woman's or working they's whiskey. So good whiskey. That shit tastes good. Well, that is true, Morris. It's a good point. Love the flag. Oh, this is actually the original Canadian flag here, my friends. It's called the Red Ensign. It does have the Union Jack as part of it. This is the flag that we as Canadians had before we had the maple leaf. Was there? There we go. So, my friends, what's everyone growing in their world at the moment? We do have some Afghani Kush beans that we've been saving. We had 3 of them, and I decided to try to pop them. So we've got those trying to pop right now. Because since with the new conversions of building in the new vegging area in the washroom and doing all of that kind of stuff, I'm pretty excited to start a bunch of new genetics and keep it rad and keeping it real, keeping it sexy. So that's kind of one of the next genes. We've got pops. We got some babies. Hopefully we get those ones to go. They do come from what I believe is a reputable company. It was a European one, but they seem to be really like pretentious in terms of the way they talked about genetics, which I kind of like in a sense, to be honest with you. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put some faith and hope for these beans to do well. So we've got 3 of those ones going. Nice. Thomas Skinner, that sounds sexy. You've got Yuki's Pierogies and whiskey. I've never heard of either of those strains unless we're talking about ukuleles eating pierogies and drinking whiskey, because that I can relate to maybe. But you got Skittles O, Big Bang, Chem Dog, Purple Queen. What's Purple Queen? Gorilla Glue and Jack Ribber, very nice. As we all know, we've got the Bubba Cherry Firefly, we've got the Gorilla Blue, we got some of that Bubba Kush Pilgor, baby, and that one stupid Purple Kush one. But I mean, I'm believing in her. I'm gonna hope she turns into something we can keep. Keep the faith and show her love. She maybe will surprise us. Hey man, the Ukrainians make the best pierogies, man. I love pierogies. Fucking amazing. Nicole Lehman, cherry pie, Majin Buu. Motherfucker, Majin Buu, that's a fucking Dragon Ball fucking Z reference. That's pimp. I just like the name because I like that growing up. Majin Buu. Funny. Byron Hayes just set up my tent for some Northern Lights and OG Hayes, but I found a seed in my last crop today, so got to tear apart the tent. Yeah, no, do it. Just give it a good scrub. Now, mind you, though, if you just found the one seed, though, okay? I'm going to share with you something that I learned from old growers that I had already witnessed, but they explained it to me, because I used to think like you did. And I used to think, oh, if I find this one seed, I got to freak out. No, it's not true. Sometimes a plant will give you just this magic seed. You'll never find a nanner. You'll never find a source. And you don't really need to, in fact, worry about trying to clean your shit as much. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, sometimes there is a magic bean, a mythical magic bean that happens from your pot. So if it's the one bean, don't freak out. But if you do see signs of other nodal sacs or seed sacs that has started to develop, even if you see even just subtle husking in some of your buds as you're trimming them down, right? Then, yes, you definitely need to do big scrub. Now, mind you, regardless, I am an advocate of scrubbing down and cleaning your shit out, especially if you're doing tents, much easier in between runs. It's called good hygiene and this and that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. I think you follow what I mean. Oh yeah, I love some of the natural landrace occurring ruderalis. They're nifty. The only auto that I have room for in my room would be a naturally occurring landrace ruderalis for fun. Well, Isaac Kendrick, you're speaking my language. Hindu Kush, that's my kind of shit, my friend. I love the Hindus, especially from the back of the day Hindu Kushes, man. So good. One second here. What? This camera probably needs to be plugged in. Oh shit, we've already broken 3 hours of the show. My God. Well, we've been talking not at all, everybody. We barely talked on this show. My God. I am stepping into the washroom that will be converted into a bedroom to take a piss. One second, everyone. I'm just taking a piss. I'll be back in a moment. Woo. Jesus Louise. Whoa. Excuse me. Well, my friends, though, I will say, we broke fucking 3 hours. It's been a good live stream show. I'm starting to warm up, you know, because it's like pre-training camp for the regular season, you know. Because 2020, that's the new regular season, trying to step up the game here at Pot Spot Growers. So my friends, it's been a good live stream. Alright, it's been a good live stream. It's been a fucking wonderful time to connect with all you. There's been a lot of new ones here. New pod squatches, see? We grow by the day. We still do. We may be older, we may be here now, but we still lost grow. And that's beautiful, man. And it's just, so all of you who are new to the channel, fucking welcome, motherfuckers. I mean, it's been a great live stream. There's been a lot of people talking tonight. I feel like I got to know you, but I don't recognize your name from earlier live streams much. So, fuck yeah. And we got a new year coming. We're going to step up the weed titty action. We're going to show you some serious weed titties in 2020. You're all here because you've enjoyed what we've done so far. Let's pretend that was a warm-up now, okay? 2020, we're going to bring you some serious weed titty action. It's going to show you plants and things you never thought you would see. And part of the fun thing is we're going to start growing out some genetics that people have been sending us in. And seeing what we can do here at Pot Squatch Growers with those genetics, you know. And that's going to be fun for me, I think. And fun for everybody. It's like, you know. So if you got some beans you always wanted to see what this dumbass would do with, well, let's find the fuck out. So we're going to step up our game in 2020. And it's going to be great. And we got a lot of exciting things coming for you. But the number one thing is you've all been so amazing. The new, the old, the midway. Fucking pot squatches, I love you. And you're all absolutely brilliantly fucking wonderful. You're diverse and different in so many ways. And I fucking love you. Happy motherfucking holidays. Happy motherfucking taking a breath. Happy motherfucking everything. But motherfuckers, I'm a little high. Had a few beers. But I love you. And remember, the true growers, the forever student. Yes. Don't be afraid to take risks, but make smart, stupid decisions. And, well, sometimes challenging the status quo of the noble can be a lot of fun. Don't be afraid to be a salesman, folks. Love all you. Talk to you soon. Live stream out. Saturday night live at Squatch Growers. The fuck out. Rocka shaka, motherfuckers. I love you. Peace.